What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City live watch-along. Today we're going to be doing the live watch-along of the Club World Cup final. Chance for Manchester City and Fluminense to make history today. Neither of these teams have ever won the Club World Cup. That will change in roughly 2.5 hours' time. Hopefully, with the boys in blue that are able to win at the Club World Cup and make it 5 trophies in a calendar year, which is very impressive. I think only Barcelona have got 6. The only team that can better what Manchester City have achieved, and adding to their credentials, of course, the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Champions League, the European Super Cup, and today we have a chance to make it number 5 with the Club World Cup as well. Only trophies Manchester City haven't managed to win is the League Cup back in February. We went out in January, of course, in the quarter-finals to Southampton, and the Community Shield, where Manchester City lost on penalties to Arsenal back in August. Manchester City have managed to win everything else. It all comes down to this. So this is a big deal. It is a big game for Manchester City. So really looking forward to it. Hopefully, Manchester City can win the Club World Cup. I will have all my reactions, all my thoughts, all the build-up, and everything along the way, every single step of the way for you guys to enjoy. So before I do crack on with this live watch-along and going through the teams which have been announced, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to the channel. It is free to subscribe, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Now less than 750 subscribers away from my goal, 33,000 subs. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget social media links. You can find them in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. Already on to 21 likes. It means we're just 79 likes away from 100 likes. I'm aiming to see if we can hit 50 likes, be halfway there by the time this game kicks off. So if you're watching this and you haven't already, please do leave a thumbs up. It would be much appreciated. And finally, do leave your thoughts in the live chat, including where you're tuning in from today and also your score prediction for this game. We've got Edmund in on the chat saying, come on, Manchester City, pleased to with the humble your skills, with humble show your skills and hard work. So thank you very much for that. Much appreciated, Edmund. Thank you very much for tuning in. Johnson, thanks for tuning in. Saying a big confidence boost today for Manchester City if they do win, of course. It'd be great to take that momentum into the Premier League, and a massive game, 27th of December, taking on Everton away from home. What pressure are we going to be under? We're going to find out this Saturday and this Sunday with the Premier League games taking place, and Manchester City, of course, not playing, so we are going to have a game in hand against Brentford, which I think still yet to be penciled in when that game in hand is going to be, but of course is a big game. Dale, thanks for tuning in from Dublin in Ireland. Much appreciated. Joseph, thanks for tuning in as well. Says our club, Man City, is a winner. Hoping Manchester City will win today. That would be absolutely fantastic. Dudley, good evening. Thanks for tuning in as well. Much appreciated. Steve asking, what channel is this game on? The game, if you're watching in the UK, is live on TNT Sports. I think it's also live on the UEFA app for free as well. So do go and check that out if you're wanting to watch this game. And thanks for tuning in. Says, come on City, let's get this trophy. Loving the positivity, loving the optimism. And thank you once more for tuning in. Mike, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Says he's here. Calm down, everybody. Smash the like. 3-2 Manchester City victory. Love that one, Mike. Thanks for tuning in again. Legend. Arjen, thanks for tuning in, asking why is Haaland not starting? Because Haaland's only just returned back to first team training. Same with Jeremy Doku, same with Kevin De Bruyne. The advantage you've got with Haaland and with Jeremy Doku is they've had full pre-season with Manchester City. They've played many games for City so far this season. Their sharpness won't be affected anywhere near as much as Kevin De Bruyne. It will take De Bruyne, I reckon, 3 to 5 weeks longer than Haaland or Doku to get up to pace with where Manchester City's squad is right now, and even then he'd have to be phased into it. So Haaland I'm expecting, and Jeremy Doku too, potentially to be available for Everton. It was always going to be too soon for the Club World Cup. Pep Guardiola made no secret of that. He's mentioned it twice in his press conferences that Doku, De Bruyne, Haaland, they're not going to be available. So Manchester City having to make do with 3 senior world-class players there. Doesn't make our job any easier, but we do have the squad and the players to make it happen. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can make that happen. John, thanks for tuning in once more as well. Sao Paulo this time. I like it. Stephen, thanks for tuning in. Says, come on, we need the trophy. And Johnson saying, we have got this. Love it. Love the optimism, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. As I said, do let me know where you're tuning in from and get your score predictions in the live chat as well. So, less than 17 minutes away from kickoff. I do apologise for being a couple of minutes late for you guys. I was just getting the last remaining parts of the stream just set up for you guys. So I do apologise for that. And there was a little update that was going on that slowed me down. But hopefully JSGC will be better prepared when it comes to the live watch-along against Everton on the 27th of December. So, heading over to the sides for this game. Interestingly, in the 3rd-4th playoff that happened before, Urawa Red Diamonds of Japan, they lost to Al Ali of Egypt by 4-2. Very entertaining game earlier today in Saudi Arabia. So, congratulations to Al Ali, who have finished 3rd in the Club World Cup. Question is now, who's going to finish 2nd? And most importantly, who's going to win at the Club World Cup as well? Can Manchester City write their name further into history and add another trophy to their cabinet? That would be hot. It would be absolutely brilliant. Anyway, on to the lineups for this game. We're going to start with our opponents, Fluminense FC of Brazil, playing their trade in Rio de Janeiro. They've gone with an unchanged 11 that beat Al Ali of Egypt on Monday night, starting with Fabio in goal. They play a 4-2-3-1 formation, so a back four made up of Xavier, Nino, Felipe Melo and Marcelo. Couple of interesting names there. Felipe Melo got a lot of experience playing in Europe, playing at centre-back. Marcelo, former left-back for Real Madrid, of course, knows how to win, a very successful player. He starts at left-back. In midfield, made up of Martinelli, and it's not the Martinelli that plays for Arsenal. Another Martinelli and Andre. Keep an eye on him. Manchester City's name is being put out there potentially to make a move in January. So he is on offer here and on show for everyone to see, not just Manchester City, but around the world as well. Further ahead of them in midfield, you've got Paulo Henrique, and then it's Arias starting on the right wing, Kino starting on the left wing, and Cano starting as their striker. They're led by captain Nino. Manager is Fernando Diniz, is their manager. On the bench for Fluminense today, you've got Udez and Rangel, their 2 goalkeepers. Also on the bench, you've got Diogo Barbosa, Guga, Marlon, David Braz, Alexander, Daniel, Thiago Santos, Lima, John Kennedy and Yoni Gonzalez as well. I've been told from Fluminense fans they like to press. They like to play an attacking style of football. They like to score goals. And they're a team that will look to try and be in the face of Manchester City. So this could be a very entertaining, high-scoring game. We will see. Now, your Manchester City starting 11 for today. 3 changes from the team that beat Urawa Red Diamonds on Tuesday night. So we're starting with Ederson in goal. Looks like it's going to be a back four for Manchester City made up of Kyle Walker, John Stones, Ruben Dias and Nathan Ake. So the first of the changes comes at the back. Manuel Akanji drops to the bench and Ruben Dias starts for City today. In midfield for City, you've got, could be John Stones pushing further ahead and going with a back 3. So it'll be Rodri in defensive midfield, Phil Foden going in central midfield, and Rico Lewis as well. That means the changes have happened in terms of Julian Alvarez. He starts up top for Manchester City today. So Matheus Nunes drops to the bench. Mateo Kovacic also drops to the bench. Matheus Nunes, Mateo Kovacic, I keep saying their names wrong. Matheus Nunes and Mateo Kovacic, they both, in my opinion, deserve to start in this game, and they haven't. So I presume that Manchester City are rotating a little bit. Not saying that they're thinking about Everton too much, but they've got a squad there. I always say that Manchester City's got a really good core, 15, 16 players, couple of injuries here and there, Haaland, De Bruyne, Doku, of course. So elsewhere, the team pretty much selects itself, and you're looking at the team, the players that are going to be rotated, ones that are unlucky to miss out, Gvardiol, Akanji, Kovacic, Nunes. These are these senior players that you could well be seeing starting, certainly at some point just after Christmas in Manchester City's 2 games that we're going to be playing, including against Everton away, and if not then, certainly in the home game against Sheffield United. So we will see. On the bench for Manchester City today, we're starting with 2 goalkeepers, Scott Carson and Stefan Ortega-Moreno. Also on the bench, made up of Josko Gvardiol, Max Allian, Manuel Akanji, Sergio Gomez, Oscar Bobb, Mahamadou Sissoko, Matheus Nunes, Mateo Kovacic, Mika Hamilton and Kalvin Phillips as well. Great again to see a few of the academy lads making the bench for Manchester City. You never know, they may get some minutes here in what would be, some of them, their first ever senior final as well. So we will see. City led by manager Pep Guardiola, and captain for today is Kyle Walker. Of course, caused a bit of controversy just after the win against Urara with his comments made about Alex Ferguson and Manchester United. My personal opinion on that, as I know a couple of people have been asking for my opinion, do I think Kyle Walker's out of order with the words that he says and the words that he chose to say, which, not to give it word for word quote, but Kyle Walker basically said that what Manchester United achieved in 1999 with their treble was to him a better achievement than what Manchester City managed to achieve last season, with Manchester City also winning the same treble with the Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League. And if you're sitting there as club captain for Manchester City and just been put onto a new deal, yeah, it is a little bit disappointing to hear Kyle Walker saying such things. I'm not going to lose the plot over the words that have been said. I don't think he should choose to say them words. He's chosen to say them words. You can't take them words back. But I want to see more from Kyle Walker. I want to see Kyle Walker putting his performances on the pitch, putting his head on the line and saying if he doesn't think it's as good as what Manchester United achieved in 1999, why was that? And what's he going to do about that whilst he's playing for Manchester City? If you're captain of Manchester City, I'm looking for you to lead by example. And I've accused at least 3 times this season of Manchester City lacking a little bit of leadership on the pitch. Well, Kyle Walker's the captain, so there's the first bit of leadership that I'd be looking for. So Kyle Walker is a player that I'd be looking for a little bit more from, and I'd rather he chose to focus on the pitch and finding that leadership quality and pushing Manchester City further to go beyond, to achieve even more, to make us the best team that we possibly can be, rather than coming out there and giving all the credit to Manchester City's most fierce rivals. Not a great look, I don't think, for Kyle Walker. Certainly don't think there's any malice in it, but a little bit of a kick in the teeth with what's happened over the last 6 Premier League games for Manchester City, that you hear your club captain saying such things. I've had my comments before about Pep Guardiola, and you keep mentioning the obsession about attendance and atmosphere at Manchester City when nothing really gets done about it. Yet he continues to make the same comments, yet the matches continue to sell out game after game after game, and people are turning up. So it'd be good to see some more on the pitch, and rather than taking your digs at fans and giving a bit of a kick in the teeth towards them, because at the end of the day, Pep Guardiola one day will leave Manchester City, Kyle Walker one day will no longer be a player associated with Manchester City, then days will come, yet the fans will still be here. And these players and manager, what they've achieved for Manchester City has been nothing short of outstanding. So it'd be good to be able to celebrate them without casting a little bit of doubt in our mind as to you hearing these comments being made by people, because I never once remember Roberto Mancini saying anything bad about the Manchester City fans and putting out their little dangles of criticism. I don't recall any of the club legends and captain Vincent Kompany wouldn't have a bad word to say about Manchester City. You wouldn't hear him praising Manchester United. So I just think you've got to be smarter, you've got to think about these things, and I think we're just hitting a really delicate, sensitive part of the season. I think frustrations are very high amongst the players, the manager, the coaching staff, the staff at the club and the fans as well. All comes to a loggerhead, and it can very quickly get very ugly as well. And the way you deal with that is your results matter on the pitch. Win your games, win your trophies, Win your Club World Cups, for example. Winning today. Best preparation we can have for the upcoming couple of games that we've got to conclude 2023. I'm going to go with my score prediction now. I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory today for Manchester City. Sticking with a Bernardo Silva goal and a Julian Alvarez goal for Manchester City is what I'm going for today as my score prediction. So do get your score predictions in the live chat. That would be much appreciated. We've got Malusi in on the chat. Says Lewis, Alvarez, Jack, Foden. The most confused combination. Pep trying to be smart, it's not going to work. And he reckons Flu, which is abbreviation of Fluminense, they like to be called Flu, going for a 2-1 victory for them. Joseph says, please, what is ongoing now? Enlighten me, what is going on? I'm not too sure. There you go. Joseph is going for a 4-1 victory for Manchester City today, so I do like the positivity there. Frederick says, hello, I'm speaking from the United States. We've got this, we're going to win this game, and we're going to come back, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Love that one. Thank you very much to Frederick for tuning in all the way from the United States of America. Much appreciated. Vinicius, thanks for tuning in as well. He says, if Andre ends up owning this game, do I think Manchester City will buy him? Potentially. He's on show. It won't be the first and it won't be the last time Man City have had players play against them and think, you know what, that player looks good, it looks smart, he fits exactly what we're looking for. We may want to make a move. Bernardo Silva, he put in 2 great performances for AS Monaco when we were knocked out of the Champions League by them a few years back, and we ended up buying him in the summer. Josko Gvardiol, we saw him on display last season when we faced RB Leipzig in the last 16. We brought him in the summer, so it does happen. And Andre will be thinking to himself, the whole world's watching. It's a chance for him to make a name for himself. You never know. Could be at Manchester City. It could even come in January. We will have to wait and see. So certainly I think he'll look to try and raise his game. Vinicius also asked what's going to happen if Man City loses. I can't be dealing with Man City losing today, so hopefully it'll all run smooth and it'll all be fine. And we can all have a good time and we can relax just before Christmas. I think the last thing that we need right now is Manchester City losing this game, people losing the plot, and it just goes poisonous again. That's the last thing we need, so hopefully that will not happen. Ken, thanks for tuning in. Says tuning in from Malawi. Love that one. So we've got United States in on the room. We've got Malawi in on the room as well. Much appreciated. Fantastic. Love that one. Cletus says, come on City, let's win the trophy. I really do hope you're right there, Cletus. Thanks for tuning in. John going for a 4-1 victory today for Manchester City. Love that. Vinicius says he reckons Fluminense will 100% score today. I'm hoping we can continue keeping a clean sheet. Clean sheet in the last game against Urara. Follow up with another clean sheet here, and I'll say that is absolutely fantastic. You've got that protection in front of the defence. John Stones, Rodri, that combination once more. Nathan Ake on the pitch as well. I like it. I think City are capable of keeping a clean sheet. Hopefully we will. The geezer Dan, thanks for tuning in once more, says, do I think today's game will be a little harder than the other day? 100%. You don't win the Copa Libertadores in South America for no reason. They're a very good team. They've got some seasoned, experienced professionals in their team. They've got a lot of upcoming talent as well. They've got hungry players. They've got a point to prove. Won't be an easy game today for Manchester City. I'm still going, though, for a 2-0 victory. Captain Harris, thank you very much for your support. Much appreciated. Says, big up, Jay. Come on, City. Loving the positivity today, everybody. Johnson reckons we will be keeping a clean sheet. I certainly do hope you are right, my friends. So we have a little light display on show at the King Abdullah Sports Complex Stadium in Saudi Arabia. Our final game in Saudi Arabia. The weather's looked pretty nice for everybody out there. I've seen some of the Instagram stories. Manchester City putting out their social media content and everything. Weather's looked very nice. So I'm sure the players have appreciated seeing a little bit more of the sun than what they would have if they'd been in Manchester. We've had a storm here. It's been nothing but windy and raining. Miserable. Horrible. They've enjoyed a bit of sunshine. Hopefully that bit of sunshine has given them that vitamin D, a little bit of a boost that they could come back, feel a bit more optimistic, a little bit more positive, win the trophy today and say, you know what, it's time to kick on with our season. Ederson tuning in all the way from Nigeria and going with a very positive 3-0 victory. Love that one, Ederson. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated, my friend. So we have the trophy on show, the club badges on show. It is a big deal. Saudi Arabia putting themselves on the world stage with the eyes watching. We know the 2034 World Cup is going to be heading there. The fireworks are going on display as well, and they're looking to really make a name for themselves on the football scene, bringing in lots of talent from around the world to the Saudi League. They're getting the biggest and best competitions from around the world as well, and they get to watch Manchester City today in action. The European champions taking on the South American champions, going at loggerhead here with all kinds of talent, some of the best players in the world on display as well. Absolutely love it. Stadium's looking pretty full. The City faithful are there in numbers. The Fluminense faithful are there in numbers as well. Looks good. Looks really good. Should be a really good game of football. And it's Manchester's finest taking on Rio's finest here in this game in Jeddah. So the Manchester City starting 11 for you guys. Ederson starting in goal. I think it's going to be a back three. It's going to be made up of John Stones is going to go further ahead into midfield, I reckon. So it'll be Kyle Walker, captain of Manchester City, on the right-hand side of defence. Nathan Ake on the left-hand side with Ruben Dias going through the middle. John Stones, Rodri further ahead of him. Rico Lewis further ahead of him with Phil Foden going through the middle. Julian Alvarez starting as City's striker today with Bernardo Silva on the right wing and Jack Grealish on the left wing. Is Manchester City's starting 11 for today. It means Matheus Nunes and Mateo Kovacic drop to the bench. Unlucky in my opinion, for both of them look very good against Urara, and I've got no problem with both of them starting in our game against Everton on the 27th of December. Nearly ready then for kick-off here. Manchester City today are going to be playing in their home kits. There was a couple of people that were mentioning it in the last stream about Manchester City going in their away strip rather than the sky blue. They are playing in the sky blue today. Sky blue shirts, white shorts and sky blue socks. Fluminense going in their traditional colours. It's a green and red striped top. Looks very smart actually. I like their top. And sponsored by Umbro as well. Umbro are fantastic kit makers. I love when City had Umbro. It'll be white shorts and white socks for Fluminense. I think City are going to be attacking from left to right, with Fluminense attacking from right to left. Julia, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. And welcome to everybody. We're now on 40 likes. Just 60 likes to go to 100 likes. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget, get your thoughts in the live chat, including your score prediction for this game. Now, 9 likes. Can we get to 50 before kickoff? Kickoff's literally a minute away. 8 likes to go, so leave a thumbs up. Can we get to 50? That is the big question. Teams huddled in the middle. Final team talks before we are going to get underway for this game. Sorry, Fluminense are in their burgundy shorts rather than white shorts, but it is white socks for them. And we are nearly ready to go here in this game. Manchester City are attacking from left to right, with Fluminense attacking from right to left. Manchester City are going to get us underway for this game. And Julian Alvarez does get us underway for this game. Come on, City, should be a good one. Ball automatically gets played back to Ederson in goal. Thank you very much, Dave, for tuning in once more. Says enjoyed the last stream, but watched the Borough game before your game ended. Says come on, Manchester City, and well done to Middlesbrough for making it to the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. I think they've drawn Chelsea in the semi-final. As ball given away here to Nathan Ake, knocks it further ahead. He might have a shot here. He does. He hits the post. It's going to be followed in. Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez. Less than a minute in and Manchester City lead. What an effort from Nathan Ake. Julian Alvarez on the rebound from the post. He just chests it in. Fluminense are too slow to get back. And Manchester City get the dream start here in Saudi Arabia. Come on. Just got to make sure that it's onside. It's such a poor giveaway from Fluminense. What a hit from Nathan Ake. Oh, he's onside. 1-0 Manchester City. Too slow to react there, Fluminense. It's a brilliant, brilliant effort from Nathan Ake. So unlucky. Julian Alvarez is so quick to read that situation. Natural born goal scorer. Erling Haaland in the stands has to watch on and watch Julian Alvarez read such a situation so well and gives Manchester City the lead. Just what the doctor ordered. Boom goes the dynamite, as Cleveland Brown would say. Here's Fluminense coming on the attack now. The space, and Rodri makes the interception. It's given away though. Ruben Dias it is that's given it away, and another slack pass from Fluminense, and that will be a free kick for Manchester City. What an effort. Pep Guardiola's suited and booted for the occasion. He's caught himself a little tan. Here's Rico Lewis now. Back to Bernardo. City looking to just get forward. Striking on the money. What an effort from Julian Alvarez. So low down. I don't understand. Did he lose his balance? I don't get why he didn't just go with his feet. Why he's chosen to chest it down into the back of the net. Who knows? An Argentinian scoring past a Brazilian side. The script. It writes itself sometimes. Here's Rodri for Manchester City. Working it back now to Ederson in goal, and City can stretch that pitch now. Rodri spreads about into space. Lovely dink over the top. Rico Lewis takes a good touch. Leaves a trailing leg. Martinelli's the man that just trips him up. And that will be a free kick to Manchester City. Lovely, lovely stuff. Right, guys, just 7 likes to go to 50. Any help towards that would be brilliant. Do subscribe. What a start for City. Ball played over the top. It could get even better here. Alvarez into the penalty area. He's forced to the right-hand side. Here is Bernardo Silva. He's got one forward in Rico Lewis. Kyle Walker receives the ball. Works it to the right. Alvarez. There's 2 or 3 reading. It goes for the near post. And deflection takes it into the arms of the keeper. And it remains 1-0 here. Julia Pep looking very dapper in his suit. Very dapper. It's not often you see him in a suit either. Not often you get him in a suit. As, once again, Fluminense just giving the ball away. A high press from City. I was expecting it from Fluminense, not from Manchester City. Ah, it's a lovely tackle. And here's Fluminense now coming forward. Phil Foden has his pocket picked. And the ball gets played into the channel and looked offside, and Ederson's just going to mop that one up. Teddy, thanks for tuning in. It is 1-0 Manchester City here against Fluminense. Julian Alvarez on the rebound from a great effort from Nathan Ake. From a poor giveaway from Fluminense means Manchester City lead after less than a minute. Great start to the game for Manchester City, but as always, we need to build on it. We need to make sure that we continue to play our normal game. Knock the ball around, find the space, press, be clinical in front of goal. Jack Grealish brings down I think his name was Samuel Xavier, the right back. Samuel Xavier. Once again, Fluminense just messing around. It falls nicely. Rico Lewis, have a shot. Have a shot, Rico. He had it on his right foot. It just sat up so nicely. I could see Rico just putting his foot through that, bending it into the far post. And that could have been 2. Could have been 2, guys. Here's Kyle Walker. Gives the ball to Bernardo Silva now. Knocking it around. Here is Rodri for Manchester City to Ruben Dias. Julian Alvarez receives the ball. Work to the left-hand side. Jackie G now. He's got nowhere to go. He's just going to work it back to Nathan Ake. He receives support from John Stones, but not used. He'll just go back to Ederson in goal. He thought about playing the sensible pass out to Ake. He goes for the next sensible option, which is a pass to John Stones. Rodri drops into the pocket, and Manchester City can move that potential attack forward. Jack Grealish just plays it into Phil Foden on the left-hand side on a bit, in a little bit of space. Here's Grealish now, just threads the ball into Foden, takes a good touch and can work a pass to Rodri. Here's Ruben Dias now, everybody ahead of him, gives it to Bernardo Silva. English Dawn, thanks for tuning in. The Spider giving Manchester City the lead today. Here is Bernardo Silva now to Phil Foden. Just works a ball through the channel, cut off well by Fluminense, and they can come away with the ball here. Onto the right-hand side. And that looked like it may have gone out for a corner, but not given. And again, just I feel like Fluminense are panicking a little bit on the ball, and their passing's just not as crisp or as sharp as what they'd hope. Even Marcelo, as experienced as he is, looks a little bit shaky, and they continue to mess around with passing the ball around, with City pressing 3-4 players around. They've already given the ball up high on the pitch and been punished for it once. Can't really afford to keep doing it, but it does mean there's space around, and Marcelo works a ball to the right-hand side. It's a good ball. It's a lovely weighted ball. It will be kept in. So Fluminense here got a chance to potentially get something into the box and cause City some kind of problem. About 30 yards out to the centre of goal. Worked to Marcelo. He'll just work it backwards here as Fluminense look to try and probe. It allows Manchester City, as they work the ball across midfield, allows us to get everybody back behind the ball, and not often you get Manchester City with 11 men inside their own half in their defensive 40 first 40 yards or so of the pitch. But Fluminense just knocking the ball around nicely here now, settling a little bit more into the game. But it is Manchester City with the opening goal 8 minutes in here that lead. Edmund, thanks for tuning in. Seamus as well, sorry I missed you. Thanks for tuning in as well, much appreciated. 8.5 minutes then. 1-0 Manchester City lead. Fluminense continuing just to probe and work them passes, and Manchester City just holding their shape, waiting for their distribution mistake to come in. Work to the right-hand side. It's a good ball. Nathan Ake asked for the offside flag. It doesn't come. It does come now eventually. Nathan Ake does give the thumbs up, looking across the line there. And City can have the ball back. Poor there to look across the line. Should know. Just getting a replay of the goal. Keeper. It hits his back as it follows through to Julian Alvarez. I'm still not sure why he went with his chest and not with his foot, but there we go. Poor giveaway that by Manchester City. Just pass it straight out of play for a throw into Fluminense. So once more, City are just going to have to sit a little bit deeper, but they're pushing their defensive line forward just to try and force Fluminense back, and it does work, and it's worked all the way back out to the keeper now. Here is Felipe Melo. Go look to work it to the right-hand side. Here is Xavier. And good ball knocked into the channel here. Fluminense very good on the football, very good. Backing themselves, believing in themselves. Can they create the chances? That's the question. City's high line there, forcing once more Fluminense just to go long. There's too much on it, and that'll go out of play for a goal kick to Manchester City, which Ederson will take. 10 minutes in here in Saudi Arabia. Manchester City lead by a goal to 0. Seamus reckons Haaland is the classic dresser at Manchester City with some outrageous outfits. Reckons Kevin De Bruyne next. He loves his outrageous outfits as well. Ball given away by Rodri high up here. And Fluminense have 4 forward, and it's good defending from Ruben Dias, and he'll just work the pass back out to Ederson. Ederson's going to launch this one. He's going to send a long ball forward, and it takes a couple of awkward bounces. For a moment, Julian Alvarez was interested in that. Dealt with, though, by Fluminense at the back, and their goalkeeper can have the ball now and work to the left-hand side. Marcelo drops into the space, and he's going to push forward. I love that their manager, Fernando Diniz, in all red, in a tracksuit. You've got Pep Guardiola looking very dapper in his suit, and their manager dressed in a tracksuit in all red. And that's some really good work here from Fluminense. been impressed with how they've knocked the ball around. And here is Martinelli now coming forward from midfield. Work to Marcelo, worked out to the right-hand side here, and the overlap's coming in. City need to just cover their numbers, and they choose to go for goal. Probably not the better option there, in my opinion, and it's blazed over the top of the crossbar and out for a goal kick. It's the first effort on goal for Fluminense 11.5 minutes in, to be fair. The space is there to have the shot, it's just I felt like there were better options. Rather than having a potluck shot from, 30, 35 yards out. As we have over 60 people in the room now, so welcome everybody, much appreciated. Do leave a thumbs up. We've now passed 50 likes, which is fantastic. Nearly on 60 likes. Making some good progress. Can we hit 100 likes is the overall aim. Also, don't forget to subscribe. And I could argue a case that although City scored after a minute, I think Fluminense have probably settled better into this game. They're knocking the ball around nicer than what Manchester City are. Looking nice and positive. A ball gets chipped into the middle. Nathan Ake should mop that one up for City, and does, and he manages to get that clear via a deflection out for a throw-in to Manchester City as well. So good stuff there from Nathan Ake. Always feel, I'm not meaning any disrespect towards Josko Gvardiol, but I always feel more secure on that left-hand side when I see Nathan Ake starting, and he is going on that left-hand side. I just think, in terms of his defensive ability, I think Nathan Ake is a little bit sharper and he reads the game better than Josko, which is to be expected. Nathan Ake is older. Josko Gvardiol may look older than what he is. He's only 21 years old. He's got very little experience in England. So it's going to take time to adapt to a new club, new surroundings and a new country. Everything's new to him. It's going to take time for him to settle in. So if I'm looking for games where I want Manchester City just look pretty solid across our back line, I would say that Nathan Ake would be my preferred choice on that left-hand side rather than Josko Gvardiol, and give Gvardiol them games where Man City maybe aren't going to be as under pressure from teams that are willing to attack, but rather allow Josko to be given a little bit more attacking freedom, because I'd say that's more his forte in being able to get forward. He knows where the back of the net is. We yet to see it at City, but he does know where the back of the net is. But Nathan Ake, with his efforts on goal as well, seems to demonstrate that he's got a shot in him. Hits the post, rebounds through the goalkeeper's deflection to Julian Alvarez for the opening goal. So there we go. Seamus says, who's got the best tattoos, Walker or Eddie? I'd probably go with Eddie. Well, I'd go for Drew. Thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Lovely turn from Fabio, the goalkeeper. Fluminense fans like that behind the goal. And a little bit of pushing and shoving going on between Marcelo and Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis just trying to make a name for himself and making sure Marcelo knows that he's there and what his role is. And here's Fluminense coming forward, and that's not the best of challenges from Julian Alvarez trying to get back. He goes sliding in a little bit recklessly. Referee plays the advantage. And here's a chance for Fluminense once more to try and get forward on this left-hand side. They're playing the pockets really well. Playing 3-4 passes, and there's 3-4 options at all time for Fluminense. Question is, you can have the possession, you can have these moments, you can knock the ball around, you can look... Because I thought at times Urara, despite the possession stats, when they did have the ball, looked comfortable and looked good on the ball. They just weren't turning them into opportunities. And that's what Fluminense have to try and do here. If the only opportunities they're going to create in the game is going to be from 30 yards out, which is the only effort that we've seen from them so far in the first 16 minutes, they could be in for a long evening. Manchester City, they hold all the cards here with that opening goal. City are happy to be patient. City will wait for that second goal. Fluminense are the team that need to force it. But it doesn't help that Ederson just gives the ball away there. And all of a sudden there's 5 on it. And Fluminense are in here. Rounds the keeper. Ederson brings him down. And that should be a penalty. I'll be surprised. Oh, the flag goes up. Ederson gets away with one there. Big time. If he's not offside, that potentially not only is a penalty, it's potentially a red card. Really poor from Manchester City. And this is tight. This is tight. Ederson brings him down. There's no question that it's a penalty. As I said, potentially a red card as well. There is VAR in operation, so we're just waiting for the referee to say happy to go, and he does give the authority, so there we go. So it is offside, thankfully. There will be no penalty here, or red card, and City just a little bit slack, and Ederson's just got to be a little bit more alert for me. It's one thing to give the ball away, it's a completely different matter to give a penalty away and get yourself sent off as well. I'd rather just concede. And again, Rico Lewis just looking to try and press Marcelo, and he goes down under a challenge from Rico Lewis. He just chucks himself to the ground. What is Marcelo doing? Not happy with the altercation between him and Rico Lewis. It's the third time that we've seen such an incident. We do get the offside call here. It's about half a yard offside, a very tight call in the end. And notice how the Club World Cup are using the same technology that gets used in Champions League to make very quick calls in the offside rulings. The Premier League, let's not forget, they had the opportunity to have that same technology in the summer. They said no. They said no. Backwards Premier League, if you ask me. Anyway, speaking of faffing around, Fabio at the back for Fluminense manages to bring the ball away here. Callum, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Over 80 people in the room now, much appreciated. Welcome everybody. Here's Marcelo. It's been a very bright, energetic start to this game. Fluminense look pretty good for me. They conceded early on, they responded really well, and making life difficult for Manchester City. Lovely feat that from Fabio, the goalkeeper for Fluminense. Steve asks, why can't we check VAR that quickly? I'm going to presume they've got competent officials managing these. I think the officials today are from Poland. Not like the prats that we've got in charge in England and in the Premier League. It's just it's so bad. They're probably briefed and said, make the correct decisions and make them quickly. And they say, yes, sir, I'm going to do my best here. In the Premier League, they think, what can I do to annoy everybody? What can I do to make it all about me? I know what. Jack Grealish looks like he's played the advantage. He looks like he's got a chance to score. You know what? I'm going to stop the advantage, bring it back so everybody speaks about me. And for some strange reason, for the whole time that I've been following football for 20 plus years, officiating's always come under scrutiny. And the sign of a good official, the sign of a good referee, is a referee whose name I do not know. Is a referee who I do not notice is even on the pitch because they're managing it that well. Can't even name you one top Premier League referee. They're all just equally as inept. And a bit of pressing going on here. It's putting a little bit of a bad-tempered game, this. It's coming bad-tempered, I like it. We're now 35 likes away from 100 likes, so any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe as well, that would be much appreciated. Got nearly 80 people now in the room. Welcome everybody. Should be a good interception for Manchester City. And ball gets given away. The press really sharply Fluminense, really sharp. And City look a little bit rattled even though we're ahead. And this is the thing that you have with facing a side from a country that we don't often get to face. That's lovely from Marcelo, right through the legs of Phil Foden. Given away though, there's one thing about Fluminense, it's all great with how they're playing and everything, but you need the quality there as well. And every now and then they've given the ball away, and when they have given the ball away, It's allowed Manchester City just be in good positions, and a team with as much quality as what City have got will punish you. Here's Kyle Walker. This lines up very nicely for him. Good block, and Marcelo celebrates that block like he's just scored a goal. Very happy with that. John Stones now works the ball to Ruben Dias, and for the first time in about 11 or 12 minutes, Manchester City have the opportunity here to have a little bit of possession for themselves. Josh, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated cheering on Manchester City today. Here is Kyle Walker. As we're now just 31 likes away from 100 likes. Can we get there in the first half? We've not done that in ages. That would be sensational. Club World Cup final as well. What's not to like? Here's Rodri for City. And what I like about Fluminense, they are pressing really high and really well. There's not just one player that's pressing. It's the whole team that are doing it. Forcing themselves further forward. They're making life difficult for City to knock the ball around. It's upsetting Manchester City. It leads to a few mistakes. But we're going back to that big question that I had for Urawa in Japan and what I have today for Fluminense. It's great with how you play and have this style and offer something that City don't often come up against in the Premier League or in Europe, because this style isn't really... I've never seen a team in Europe play how Fluminense are playing against Manchester City right now. But the question is, you can have your style and how you're doing, but the question is, can you make it effective on the pitch, and can you turn that into goals? Can you create them opportunities? Because at the moment, they were pressing really well, Fluminense. They're knocking the ball around very nicely. Got a little bit of that Brazilian samba flair, but not created much in 23 minutes. And it's their mistake that led to Manchester City punishing them after 1 minute. And that's what City possess here. Give us a chance, we'll take it. Free kick for City then. Bernardo Silva works it to Alvarez. He's going to have a shot, and it's another block for Fluminense, and they're going to start thinking about the counter-attack as City commit players forward. Random, thanks for tuning in, says staying up all night just to see Manchester City win. I do hope you are correct there, and City can win. Tadu, thanks for tuning in, says imagine Diniz with younger star players, what he could do, but he's got a good style of play. Doesn't seem to have had the best season with Fluminense, though. 7th in the Brazilian league to finish this season. As I said, it's good for Manchester City to be playing against a team that plays different to what we're used to. You know, we've hammered Real Madrid earlier earlier last season. Hammered Bayern Munich, two top teams with some of the best players in the world in their teams, and City made short work of them on the biggest stage of them all. So it's not easy to take on a motivated, high-quality Manchester City team. So to come here, you know, they've had to travel much further than what City have. To come here, to put in a really comprehensive, good performance against Al Ali of Egypt, then come up against Manchester City, go behind after a minute, and continue to play the way you want to play and do what they're doing. I have a lot of respect for what they're doing. I do imagine, though, as this game goes on, City will grow into this game, and that's where the dangers may be for Fluminense. They're already in a dangerous situation that City lead, and next goal is crucial. City grab that next goal. Could well be curtains for Fluminense. Over 100 people in the room now. Welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Just 29 likes away from my goal of 100 likes. So if everybody that's in the room right now left a thumbs up, we'd hit 100 likes, which would be absolutely fantastic. Also, don't forget as well to subscribe if you are new around here. Wildcats, tuning in from Ireland, I'm going to presume by your name, says maybe, but would be more excited to watch Manchester City Villa at Christmas. I don't want to face Aston Villa anytime soon. They could well be top for Christmas, Aston Villa, actually. So cross comes in for City. Aston Villa at home this weekend. Falls nicely here for Julian Alvarez as a shot, and keeper will collect that one. Yeah, Aston Villa at home. I think they're playing tomorrow. They win, they go top, and Arsenal away at Liverpool If they both draw, which could well happen, if that does happen, Aston Villa will be top for Christmas. You know, and I remember going on to City Extra's stream about 3-4 weeks ago. I remember saying we're all talking about who's in the title race and who's going to win the Premier League. And for me, and you'll have seen it from my comment section when I was speaking more about Aston Villa and my Premier League prediction, I don't think people are taking Aston Villa seriously enough for my liking. Do not underestimate Unai Emery. Do not underestimate the players that they've got, as Phil Foden's in here, and deflection into the back of the net. Against the run of play, it's what we've been speaking about. You give Manchester City a sniff, they will punish you. And it's an own goal. And Manchester City lead by 2. Good work for Manchester City. Really good work. Manchester City, the scoreline suggests that we're cruising. It's not. We're not cruising, mark my words. Fluminense have played a very good game, yet we lead by 2 because we've been clinical in front of goal. And it's one of the biggest things I've been criticising City for this season is these opportunities just haven't been put into the back of the net. Yet sometimes things just work. You make your own looking football. Boom, goes the dynamite. Manchester City lead by 2-0. I want to go back to Aston Villa and speaking about them anyway, because, I just don't think enough has been made of Aston Villa. I think too many people are expecting a drop-off. Aston Villa, if you compare their form from, I think, November, from the break-off of the World Cup last year to right now, are one of the most informed teams, home and away. As Fluminense could be in here, that should be covered by Kyle Walker, but they managed to keep hold of the ball very well here. Work to the right-hand side. A little bit more work for Manchester City to do. There we go. We're nearly on 100 likes. 14 to go. Any help towards that would be great, guys. Don't forget to subscribe as well. It's been a very aggressive first 28 minutes here in Jeddah, in Saudi Arabia. It's been a really good game of football. This really good game of football. A lot of happy people as well. Callum, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Seth, thanks for tuning in, says, is the stream down for anyone else tuning in from the United States of America? Just having a look at my OBS studio system. Everything's showing in all green and all fine, and nobody else has said anything else. But if there is anything that isn't hunky-dory, so to speak, I'm sure people will let me know in the live chat. Everything seems okay at my end. Hopefully all sorted. You can hear me, see me, and everything's all good. Josh having a good rendition of Blue Moon. Love that one. Sarah, thanks for tuning in. Says, come on, City. Let's keep going. And Sarah is spot on. That has to be the approach. That's the lesson from Crystal Palace. You settle too much. 2-0's the most dangerous scoreline. Pep Guardiola is well into this game. Blazers off. He's not settled at 2-0. 2-0's a dangerous scoreline. Very dangerous. Ederson, poor giveaway, and Rodri reads that really well, and City can come away with possession there. It's twice now Ederson's given the ball away in dangerous areas. Need to be wary of that. Wildcats Island, fooling me with the name there. It says, good in the Bronx, not from Ireland, but tuning in from New York instead. Love that one. Seth says, he can see me, hopefully he can hear me. And everything's all good, I do hope. Shian, thanks for tuning in, says, who scored? I'm not sure if Phil Foden's going to be awarded the goal or not, or if it's going to go down as an own goal for the second goal. First goal was scored on the rebound by Julian Alvarez. And City, what a foul throw there against Fluminense, not given, and once more, Fluminense can come forward. I'm just going to have a very quick check of the statistics. Manchester City fan, thanks for tuning in. Says, I hope Manchester City don't participate in the European Super League, and if they do, I will have no other choice than to stop supporting them and stop watching the club as well. Not a fan of the Super... They've already announced they're not joining it, so you don't have to worry about that, my friend. That's in the past. I did my video back when the European Super League came out, giving my passionate thoughts about it. My thoughts haven't changed We're just going to leave it there, as that's a good ball from Jack Grealish. Played it into Phil Foden, and he can't get his shot away. And that will go out of play, I think, for a goal kick. Son of Soren says, is FIFA down as well? I'm not sure. It might be. Who knows? If anyone is playing FIFA, it's changed its name now, hasn't it? I do believe. Mark says, what's the latest on Jeremy Doku? Is he still injured? He is still injured, along with Erling Haaland. He's back in training, which is great news. Hopefully, will be available for selection, hopefully for our next game against Everton. Same with Erling Haaland as well. Corner here for City then. Didn't go out for a goal kick. I was wrong. Goes out for a corner, and referees, I think, told the players, are they going for a drinks break? It's so hot. I think they're having a drinks break here. Yeah, cooling break, a drinks break, basically. Seth. Makes more sense. Got it. It says the FIFA Plus stream on here. I'm all good. I'm not sure. If I'm honest. I'm not sure. I'm watching on TNT Sports Live here in the United Kingdom. That will make much more sense, everyone saying that the stream is down. You can bear with me then. I'll keep you guys up to date, as I'm not using the FIFA stream. Don't worry, you're not missing too much. They're having a drinks break. Not much is happening. City are 2-0 up though. We'll get the stats up for the possession. I'm intrigued. Let's have a look. Son of Soren, thank you. You can hang around here. I will keep you up to date with everything that is happening. Got the balloons that flew out there. The Brazilian fans out in their numbers. Real good to see. Real good to see. Everyone seems to be really enjoying themselves in Saudi Arabia as well. So Manchester City are having less possession than Fluminense. 54% possession to 46, very close. City have had more opportunities though. 5 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals, clinical. 2 shots for Fluminense, none on target. And that second goal has gone down as a Nino own goal for Fluminense. Or Manchester City, their captain at the back. Gone down as an own goal. As we're now into the nervous 90s on the likes. Just 8 likes to go to 100 likes. So any help towards that would be fantastic, guys. Let's get the likes up. Just 8 to go. Do subscribe as well if you are new around here. And the drinks break. I don't understand, if they're having a drinks break, why they can't introduce stopping the clock. Why has the clock been allowed to run for an extra 3 minutes? I don't understand. If you know there's going to be a drinks break and you know what minute it's going to be, why can't you just arrange to have the clock stopped and then resume the clock again, rather than just letting it eat away at the time for it all just to be added back on again? But there we go. Corner for City. Work to the edge of the penalty area, and Phil Foden's going to get his feet all mixed up. And I think the offside... I mean, Felipe Melo's put that ball out for a corner. He's really not happy. He had Rodri right behind him in an offside position. Wasn't active. Felipe Melo didn't know if he was going for the ball or not, so he goes to make the clearance, butchers it, and puts it out for a corner. So linesman has to put his flag up against Rodri, even though he weren't really going for the ball. There we go. Anyway, 10 minutes plus probably a large chunk to be added on here in the first half. It's been an excellent first half for Manchester City in terms of the scoreline. Probably not been Man City's greatest performance, let's be truthful here, but it's getting the job done, so I'm not going to sit here and complain about that, as Fluminense managed to get themselves into a little sticky corner of the pitch, right near their own penalty area. Couldn't get it clear. Nathan Ake with the throw-in for Manchester City gives it to Jack Grealish. Looking to try and get a corner here, and once again, you get 3 players of Fluminense around 2 for Manchester City. They can get a foot onto that and they can get it clear further up the pitch. And now City only midway inside the Fluminense half rather than right near the penalty area. as we're now just 5 likes away from 100 likes. Got a feeling we're going to hit that pretty soon, so please do leave a thumbs up. Here is John Stones, then works it to Kyle Walker, and City now starting to get a full control in terms of the possession on this game, something you'd come to expect under Pep Guardiola, but Fluminense, of course, continuing their press. I feel like City need reassurance of the third goal, learn our lessons from Crystal Palace, not blowing 2-goal leads, them dangerous 2-goal leads. Find that third, and we can start thinking about lifting that trophy. But job isn't done, so you can't think about that just yet. Bernardo Silva on his behind, gets back up, wins the ball back for City. Here's Phil Foden, has a shot. Very tame effort and blocked by Nino in the end, and Fluminense can come away with the ball, and Nathan Ake covers his tracks really well, but Fluminense got the second player going with a lob and over the top of the crossbar. And again, another effort here for Fluminense, third effort on goal, and another effort that goes over the top of the crossbar, and another effort that is off target for Fluminense. And as I was saying before, if I'm happy for Fluminense to have efforts on the Manchester City goal from 30 yards out, I'm very happy for them to be having their efforts on goal from 50 yards out. That's what City are reducing them to. Alison, thanks for tuning in, says Alison here in York. Andy's driving the bus. So he's got earpiece in, passing on your commentary. Alison, love that one. Thank you very much for tuning in. And tell Andy I send my regards. I do hope you are both well. Driving around on Mad Friday of all Fridays. I attempted that before. I went out for under an hour, and I thought, nah, no, not for me. Worst day to drive on in the UK today. So I was like, nah, I'm going back home. And that was me. Here's Philip Walter Foden for Manchester City. Gives it to John Stones. Rodri now. City just taking their time. Mark says, am I the only one who cares, who couldn't care less about winning this and cares more about getting everyone back home and not picking up any injuries? I think it's because it's so new for Manchester City as Jack Grealish goes down and gets a free kick for City. He's currently got Samuel Xavier stood right over him for no reason. I mean, Jack Grealish just loves a bit of shithousery, really, doesn't he? Mark, I think people care because it's the first time that City have ever been in the competition and we've not won it before, and it's a new trophy to add to our trophy cabinet. I imagine if Man City win the Champions League again, which would be fantastic, and we qualify for this competition next season, I can't imagine Manchester City's emphasis being too much about the Club World Cup. They'll care more about the big domestic prizes instead. This is more of like a luxury tournament. I described it in my last stream as more of a pre-season friendly. This game's much more competitive though. This is a really good game of football. This is a great preparation for me for Everton and Sheffield United in the Premier League. Fluminense are a very good side. This scoreline, to me, doesn't reflect that Fluminense are a good side that have caused City some problems here in the first half. We haven't had it all our own way. We've just been incredibly clinical, that we've punished Fluminense when we've needed to. Because if this was at 0-0, I would be very concerned right now with how this game's gone. But it's 2-0, so I don't have to have that discussion. So all good. Kieran going for a 7-0 victory for City. Corner comes in. What a wonderful save from Ederson. City want the offside flag, and it does go up in the end. What a save from Ederson. Absolutely fantastic save. Was offside in the build-up on the rebound. But had Ederson not made that save, the goal would have counted. Such a lovely right-handed save. On the bounce, extra awkward, tips it round the post, away from the danger zone. Eddie, cracking save. Absolutely cracking save. I love the topic of conversation about it. Julia saying, we're so near to another trophy, it would be a shame to throw it away from this position that we find ourselves in. It's massive exposure in the world of football. It's a great opportunity to face teams that we never normally face. It's again another trophy. I always say, beginning of the season, you want to get off to a good start because you get that winning mentality, and winning breeds winning. And this is good practice. Community Shield was a straight shootout final. We lost on penalties. We have to learn from that. We did. We went to the European Super Cup final. That went to penalties, learned our lesson and won the penalty shootout. Here, we're winning 2-0. If we can see it out, I'd say it's great preparation because there's every chance that Man City could be in another final come the end of the season. And you've already got that confidence and know-how that you've already won finals so far this season. Jack Grealish with an effort. It's a great save. Brilliant save from Fabio. Tips it round the post and out for a corner to Manchester City. Alison says, thanks, Jay. Andy is fine. Passes on his best wishes. We both hope that me and my family have a wonderful Christmas. Come on, City. Absolutely love that. Same to you, Andy and Alison. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas. And I really do hope you have a brilliant time and safe travels out there on Mad Friday as well. Got a pretty quiet Christmas here in the JSGC household. And it all just goes real busy straight after Christmas. The schedule's so hectic. I mean, I'm even busy on Christmas Eve. Getting all the preparation for the Everton game. Got a little collab with an Everton channel that I've worked with previously. Got my own preview and everything to get sorted. All my predictions, a Christmas Day special for you guys. And then it goes quiet on Boxing Day because City aren't playing on Boxing Day. And then it just goes boom. Schedule is mental at this time of year. Mental. I'm really happy that in January it just phases out a little bit because I've got daily Manchester City transfer updates, of course. So it just gets real busy, real busy. Good ball played into the channel. It looked like Alvarez was offside. Flag does come up now. Pretty late. So, I mean, I would go as far to say, if you receive the ball and your back's turned to goal, that's a good enough reason that if it's offside, the flag goes up. Because that, to me, isn't going to turn into a goal-scoring opportunity in the immediate aftermath of that ball being played through. Seamus says, Jack is having a good season now that he's shooting more and getting goals. I think you're spot on with that, I really do. And it's been a bit of a slow start for Jack. Jeremy Doku comes in, struggles a little bit to get his place back into the team, struggles a little bit with the identity of the team. You know, it puts you under pressure when you know that if you don't put in a good performance, when you do get that start, that you may not be starting again for a month. That's how brutal it can be. An injury to Doku. Grealish knows he's going to be starting the next 3 or 4. Relaxes him down. He improves his game. And Jack Grealish hopefully can continue to push on from there. John, before, says he wants this trophy. Not so much when the competition is overinflated money grab from FIFA and a massive problem for us. He says this year to compete, a beautiful set, and it's our own. Politics in football. Is it a necessity of a competition? No. Is it great to expose football? Yes. Is there a ton of money in it? Yes. John asks, how has he done so far? Not really been standout, not going to lie, if I'm honest. Julia says, Rodri, our most involved player. Have you come to expect any less from Rodrigo? Of course, always involved. That's a great pass into the channel. I think the advantage you've got as an early ball goes across from Foden. Bernardo should keep that in. I think you've got the advantage of Rodri. He can expose himself a little bit more. Is he's got that extra protection of John Stones. And that was the point I was making against Urara as well. How much better City looked at the back because you've got that insurance of John Stones there. Rodri doesn't look as exposed. It allows him to play his natural game. He's one of the best defensive midfielders in the world. And having John Stones there complements him really well. When John Stones isn't there next to him, I don't think Rodri looks as good. Looks great, but not as good as when John Stones is there. And this back line for City, it looks settled. I know Manuel Akanji's come out and Ruben Dias has come in, but it looks settled right now. I'm confident that City, as long as we don't make any distribution mistakes at the back, I'm confident that we keep a clean sheet today and we win this trophy. I really am, as we're into the second of 3 minutes added on here. And we're just 2 likes away from 100 likes. Can we get there before half-time? That would be absolutely brilliant. Manchester City fans is talking about terrific saves. Nothing matches Emi Martinez's save against France in the World Cup final. High pressure stakes. I don't think Emi Martinez knows too much about it. Is it an outstanding save? You betcha, Cobber. Jill, thanks very much for your kind comment there. Says you're such a good YouTuber. Much appreciated. Do appreciate your kind comment there. And thank you very much for that. And Oladapo, thanks for tuning in. Says this will be absolutely the 5th cup for Manchester City in a single season. Or single year. He says he's happy to be a citizen. Thank you for tuning in all the way from Nigeria. Nigeria in the house as well. Much appreciated. Thank you for that. As we do smash 100 likes, 106 now. So double thumbs up from me. Another 100 like live stream. Much appreciated. 120? Anybody? Let's go for it. Random says staying up overnight just to see City win. I do hope so. I really do. Appreciate the effort there as well. A lot of international blues tuning in. It's not easy following internationally. I follow a lot of the NFL, so I watch a lot of the stuff from the United States. It's not easy keeping track and following all of that. It happens in the dead of night here. It takes tremendous dedication, underappreciated dedication, but thankful for you guys for watching and tuning into my channel and showing the support. Nonetheless, much appreciated. Josh happy with the 101 likes. Gotta love it. Long ball comes in from City. 10 seconds to go here. Marcelo should stop Bernardo Silva from keeping that in, and that will go out for a throw-in, and that will be half-time. John supporting the 49ers. And Oladapo says, can't wait to watch the cup presentation as well. Hopefully, fingers crossed, second half we can keep it up and we can lift the trophy. I would go as far to say, guys, as a half-time whistle does go, that we're 1 goal away from winning the Club World Cup and making it 5 trophies in 2023. What a 2023 it has been for Manchester City. So don't forget, keep them likes coming. We're only 13 likes away from 120 likes. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Do subscribe as well. Social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries. Also don't forget as well to leave your thoughts in the live chat. Your half-time thoughts, get them in there as well. English Dawn says half-time certainly is, my friend. Manchester City fan saying 4-1 is his prediction in favour of Manchester City. I'm still sticking with 2-0 in City. Going to try and coast this out. We'll get to about 70-75 minutes. We'll start making them substitutions and it may take a little bit of the momentum away for Manchester City, but hopefully, as I said, fingers crossed we can get it done. We're close. We're nearly there. We've still got one more half of football to go. So City leading by 2-0 thanks to a 43-second strike from Julian Alvarez. A shot came in from Nathan Ake after Fluminense gave the ball away high up. Ake hits the post. It ricochets off the keeper, Fabio. Falls nicely to Julian Alvarez. Follows it in off his chest into the back of the net to give Manchester City the lead, the dream start in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And then Manchester City followed that up with a second goal. Phil Foden gets in on the left channel into the box, squares a ball across. There's captain of Fluminense, Nino, on 27 minutes to poke into his own net. It has been awarded as a Nino own goal, and Manchester City lead by 2-0. So go get the stats up for this game. See how that's going. And we'll make some judgments from there, as Mark's saying that Manchester City have just started to turn them stats and possession stats around. It is 56% possession for City and 44% for Fluminense. It was at one stage just before the drinks break. It was 54-46 in favour of Fluminense. So City just started to see a little bit more of the ball. I don't know if that's due to Fluminense maybe tiring a little bit from this high pressing football and attacking football that they've been playing, or whether that's down to Manchester City have improved their game. I'm not too sure. It'll be interesting to see what the analysis of both sides make of this and what they choose to change in the second half. I imagine if any team's going to twist here, you'd think it's going to be Fluminense, considering they are 2-0 down. Jill saying, come on Manchester City. John wanting the calm effect. Jason, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated as well. 9 shots for Manchester City today, 3 on target, couple of goals. I'm happy with that. Fluminense, 4 shots, 1 on target. That 1 on target coming from a corner, so set pieces could be something maybe City need to be wary of in the second half. Lovely save from Ederson. Remember, both sides going to be attacking in front of their own fans in the second half, so a little bit more motivation for both sides. City with 311 passes compared with 243 for Fluminense. No clear-cut chances created by either side. It's not been easy to create the opportunities so far in this game. A couple of corners for City, 1 for Fluminense. In terms of defensive stats, 5 block shots for Manchester City, none for Fluminense. Tackles won, 8 for City, 4 for Fluminense. And in aerial duels, none for Manchester City, but 1 for Fluminense. A couple of saves for keeper Fabio to make in goal for Fluminense, and 1 for Ederson in goal for Manchester City. And in terms of discipline, no yellow cards, no red cards. However, Manchester City would have given away a penalty had the offside flag not gone up against Fluminense, and that could have been potentially a red card for Ederson, which would have had a massive effect on Manchester City. But as it is, it hasn't happened, and Manchester City, hunky-dory, lead by 2-0. Very happy with that in the first half. Hopefully we'll do enough to see this out in the second half. Keep a clean sheet as well would be absolutely fantastic. So, heading over to the chat. Nitin, thanks for tuning in, says, both Manchester City Academy players, Rico and Foden, been bang average. I don't think I can go with bang average for the Manchester City players. We're 2-0 up in a Club World Cup final. Rico Lewis, Phil Foden, I think they've both played perfectly fine games, in my opinion. I think Phil Foden, I mean, does it count as an assist coming in on the left-hand side? Manchester City have certainly made their presence known in midfield and managed to get to grips after the drinks break on midfield as well. You've got to remember, Phil Foden is an attacking player that plays out wide, that's playing in central midfield, and Rico Lewis is a fullback that's playing in midfield as well. They're not playing in their natural positions. Pep's asking for more of them, and I think they're doing pretty well. That's my opinion. That's my opinion anyway. John says, let's all be happy with that one. Nadir, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Says, what's my full-time prediction? My full-time prediction, I'm going to go for 2-0 Manchester City, is what I reckon. The ME7 Odies probably wanted me to say me7 Odies, I'm not sure. It says, I think that they should bring in Oscar Bobb in the second half. I think he has potential, just doesn't get played as much, and thinks with games like this we should let them develop more as players and show out. I certainly do agree. I'd love to see a little bit more of Oscar Bobb, may give City a little bit more energy, and I think this is a high energy game. I think that once it gets to around the 65-70 minute mark, the likes of Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva may start to tire a little bit. That's when I chuck on the fresh legs, players like Oscar Bobb. If I'm looking towards central midfield, players like Mateo Kovacic and Matheus Nunes, they get chucked on for me, in my complete honest opinion. Is Zuan saying, just exactly echoed what I just said, would love to see Mateo Kovacic and Matheus Nunes come on in the second half in midfield to help City really get to grips with that. DR Dazzler, thanks for tuning in. Try Hard, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated as well. Michael says, come on City, we are the Sharks, let's wind it up as early as possible, let's get it done. Love the optimism there, hope you are right. Seth saying, who do I think is the logical Gundogan replacement? Kovacic just hasn't settled in yet. Will he fulfil that role, or is he lacking that X factor? I think we missed out big style not bringing in one of Jude Bellingham or Declan Rice in the summer. And if you're looking towards potential central midfielders to replace, I think Manchester City are probably going to be looking towards Lucas Paqueta. I think it's no secret that City want to bring him in. The Brazilian international, of course, from West Ham may just be the one that we're looking for, as DR Dazzler does like that John has said. Leave a like. The Driscoll brothers will sort them out. Loving the Only Fools and Horses reference there. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Much appreciated. Do stick around. Just having a look around the ground so far. You've got some games taking place today, including games in England. You've got Premier League action at 8 p.m. Aston Villa. Sorry, they're not playing tomorrow. They're playing today. They've got Sheffield United at home. Sheffield United 11-1 to do something at Villa Park. So I think Aston Villa are going to extend their lead on Manchester City, and they could well go top of the Premier League and could be top for Christmas as well. You've got some action in the Championship in England as well. Bristol City taking on Hull City and Swansea City taking on Preston North End. I'm sure Mick Sid, partner channel of the JSGC channel, who is a Preston North End fan, will be taking some note of that game as well. Action in League One as well. Cambridge United taking on Exeter City. In League Two, you've got Forest Green Rovers taking on Gillingham at 7 p.m. Strange kick-off time. You've got Colchester United taking on Salford City. Crawley Town taking on AFC Wimbledon. Crewe Alexandra taking on Barrow or AFC Barrow. You've got Doncaster Rovers taking on Bradford City, and you've got Stockport County taking on Notts County. Big game that in League Two. Got some games north of the border in Scotland. Queen's Park taking on Dundee United. I'm sure my friend Craig sometimes pops into the chat, feature on a couple of my vlogs as well. He's a big Dundee United fan. Will probably be paying attention to that Queen's Park Dundee United game. You've got Raith Rovers taking on Ayr United as well, and in Scottish League 2 you've got East 5 taking on Bonnyrigg Rose. Into Italy, Serie A, latest scores: 66 minutes, Empoli 0, Lazio 1. You've got Sassuolo 1, Genoa 1 in the 71st minute. You've also got Monza taking on Fiorentina, and you've got Salernitana taking on AC Milan. Both of them are 7:45 p.m. GMT kickoff times. Club World Cup full time earlier. Aurora Red Diamonds 2, Al Ahly 4 as they finish third in the Club World Cup. Manchester City leading here by 2-0 as well. Finally, you do have one game taking place in the Belgian Pro League. You've got RWDM taking on Club Brugge at 7:45 p.m. GMT. So we're on to 115 likes, just 5 likes away from 120 likes. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Do subscribe. Social media links in the description. That'd be fantastic. Go and check them out. Email also in there too. That'd be much appreciated. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, do get your thoughts into the live chat as well. Callum Welcome says, come on Manchester City. Manchester City is the best. Loving the optimism there. Everyone's got a good Friday feel-good factor. Love that one. So I do have some half-time entertainment for you guys to enjoy. Christmas themed as well. It's brought to you by my partner channel Mick Sid. Link is in the description. I will see you in around 5 minutes time, ready in time for the second half. Go and check out Mick Sid. Links and details there in the description. Go and like, comment, share and subscribe over to him. That'd be much appreciated. This is him bringing you your half-time entertainment. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a drink, grab yourself some snacks. It's how to make a chocolate martini. Enjoy!
What's going on, guys? Mix It here, and this time we are getting it right into Christmas mode. So we're going to start off with the winter cocktails. Just over 5 weeks to go until the big day itself, so happy holidays or Merry Christmas, wherever you are from. And one of the cocktails I recommend in the run up to Christmas is the chocolate martini. Can't go wrong. Gives you an excuse to crack open the Baileys. Anything more Christmassy than Baileys. So as you can see, we've got a martini glass and we've rimmed it with a chocolate syrup. So to make this delicious cocktail, guys, it's 3 ingredients. So Baileys, vodka and chocolate liqueur. Because I'm using the creme de cacao. Because it gives me an excuse. I've had it a few months but I've not opened it. So this is the first time. And let's get straight into it. It's a very simple cocktail to make. So what you want to do, guys, is put in 4 to 5 ice cubes or a giant ice cube. I've gone for a giant ice cube. Get your jigger, and the first ingredient into the tin, my friends, is 40ml, which is 3.3 ounce of the Baileys Irish Cream. Next into the shaker is 40ml or 3 ounces of vodka. I'm using Ciroc. So it's a decent vodka if you've never had it. But it's a berry vodka as well. And now this is where your chocolate liqueur comes right into it. So I'm using Gifford creme de cacao. But this can be really creative because there's some really nice chocolate liqueurs out there. So there we are, 40ml, 3.3 ounces of creme de cacao. So put your lid on, make sure it's nice and secure, and now give it a good shake, 8 to 10 seconds to get nice and chilled. So what you want to do now is get your martini glass that you've already rimmed with chocolate syrup and strain into it. What we're going to do now is garnish it with chocolate shavings. Could have a bit much. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, one chocolate martini. Doesn't it look delicious? I cannot wait to try this. The perfect winter cocktail, especially in the run up to Christmas as well. Absolutely beautiful. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, one chocolate martini. How does it taste? If you're a Bailey's lover, you'll love this, because it's everything that you could ever dream of, especially with the creme de cacao. Gives it that nice chocolate flavour mixed in with the Irish cream. But I think in terms of sweetness, it's a very sweet drink. Because the vodka certainly complements it. It gives it that boost, gives it that little bit of a kick that you can feel. But for me, that is a perfect winter cocktail, and with the vodka, it warms it up as well. You can feel it in your throat as it goes down. But that is very, very nice, especially with a nice vodka like syrup as well. But I'd rate that a solid 8.5 out of 10. It gets the party started, it gets winter cocktails flowing, and it warms the cockles up. What's not to love about it? It's chocolate, it's Christmas. It's absolutely great. Not perfect, but great. But that, guys, is the chocolate martini. Do let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the chocolate martini? Because any recommendation for winter cocktails, do let me know in the comments below. Or any Christmas ones as well in the run up to Christmas now. So it's only 5 weeks. It's only just over 5 weeks until the big day itself. So the next winter cocktail I'll be doing will be the Jack Frost, as that will be next week's cocktail, and I will see you then. But if you are new around here, don't forget to like and subscribe and mix in for more winter cocktails like this, more Christmas cocktails, and I will see you guys for the Jack Frost cocktail. Cheers. Don't do that. Oh, I feel that. It's because I had a bit of bruise in the morning.
We all love a mixed outtake, don't we? Right, John Kennedy's going to be coming on at half-time for Fluminense. As I said, they're going to twist sooner rather than later. Anyway, thank you to Mixed for providing today's half-time entertainment. Nice to see it gone down very well in the chat as well. Divyan, thanks for tuning in. Reckon we're winning today. Eric says, hopefully John Kennedy doesn't come in and score 3 goals past Manchester City. I do hope you are right there, as Fluminense are going to get us underway here for the second half. They're going to be attacking from left to right, and Manchester City attacking from right to left. And we do get underway here for the second half. Adam, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Says, Merry Christmas, Jason and Aaron. Hope you have a good one. Thank you, Adam, for your kind comment there. And I do hope you have a fantastic Christmas yourself as well. Richie, thanks for tuning in. Says, when will our 3 stars come back? KDB, I reckon January sometime. Haaland and Doku, pretty soon. Geordie, thanks for tuning in. Says, away the lads, much appreciated. Thanks for tuning in. Mark says, doesn't drink, but Mixid's drink there looks amazing. I'm sure Mixid will appreciate that kind comment. Did look very nice. As I said, do love the outtake there. As well, Adam says Belfast is the best city in the world. A little love being shown there for Belfast. Adam says he'll stick to his cider. I'm a bit of a cider man myself. Only on the lemonade today. I've still got a little bit of driving to do after the stream. So, yeah, there is that. Dudley, thanks for tuning in. Says, we are the champions, my friends, and we're going to keep fighting till the end, to quote Queen there. And we will. Manchester City are nearly there now. 1 half of football to go here. I think we're probably a goal away. And we will, I reckon we'll be club world champions, which would be absolutely brilliant. Adam going for a 6-0 victory for City today. 4 goals in the second half. I do hope you are right. I think Man City are just going to try and coast this one out at the moment. A minute and a half into the second half, not too much happening. Manchester City just again looking for that domination, that control in the game that we are looking for. Andrew says we need to kill this game off though. I do agree. It'd be nice to have that reassurance of the third goal and kill it off. I think Manchester City are just going to look for the control of this game and be patient, which is what we've done so far in the first half, and it's worked a treat and worked to the edge of the penalty area, and it's a good save, and that should be followed in by Bernardo, and it's a great save on the rebound from Fabio, and first minute in the first half, second minute in the second half, could have been so devastating. He looked onside there, Bernardo, desperately unlucky, remains 2-0. Callum, Merry Christmas to you as well, my friend, as we do it, 120 likes. Should we keep raising it? 140 likes. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Here's Fluminense coming forward. First chance they've had in the second half to come forward, and Manchester City do very well just to win that ball back. Manchester City fan says more worrying signs for England's ODI series defeat against the West Indies it was. Followed by a T20 series loss against the West Indies. Only positive in the T20s is Phil Salt. Plays for Lancashire, my team as well. Good player, Phil Salt. There seems to be some problems at the international level for England at the moment. It doesn't help that you've got other seasoned professionals playing out in the big domestic competitions around the world. Big Bash League going on at the moment in Australia. And all the controversies. Tom Curran getting a 4-match ban for his unprofessional behaviour, trying to bully an umpire. What's going on? What is going on in the world of cricket? On the plus side, it's not too far away. We're heading to 2024. We're not too far away from the cricket season here in England getting underway. It gets underway in April, and you'll have the international scene back underway in May. So less than a third of the year away once we hit into January, which is only just over a week away. So happy days, happy days. JSGC needs something to look forward to in the post-season when football's not on. And cricket, fantastic go-to for that fix. Leon, Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Thank you so much for your kind comment there as well. Much appreciated. I do appreciate all the positivity from everybody today towards my channel. It is absolutely awesome. It's amazing to see. Here's Jackie G. Jackie G goes with the outside of his foot. In the end, it just flashes across goal, and I think he's gone out for a throw-in. Goes with his right foot. Keeper chooses not to get a hand onto it because it's always swinging away, and in the end swings past everything and swings back into playing out for a throw-in rather than a goal kick. So a throw-in here for Fluminense. They look short of ideas. Callum, Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year too. Still got plenty of content to come before we hit the new year. And plenty of content before Christmas for you guys to enjoy, including all the build-up to the Everton game. Transfer update as well. Rico Lewis into the penalty area, goes down. Referee says, new penalty. Man City can continue to play on here. Here's John Stones. And Bernardo Silva just looked like he had an extra yard, but he didn't. Good defending and out for a corner to City instead. No, not a penalty on Rico Lewis. This Marcelo and Rico Lewis aggravation continuing in the second half. And Manchester City have a corner here. What can City do from the corner? There's a bit of grappling going on. How often do you see officials not punishing the grappling is the thing, as it falls nicely here to Kyle Walker. He thought about a Kyle Walker rocket in the end. Manchester City are going to get themselves a free kick. And it's going to be about 35 yards out from goal. Maybe a little bit too far to be going for an attempt on goal. unless someone's got a really clean strike. I mean, Fabio's a good goalkeeper. He's had a good game as well. It'll take something special to beat him from such a distance. And Bernardo and Alvarez stood over it. I'm not sure either of them would go for goal from here. I mean, it's the kind of distance where, you know, someone like Cristiano Ronaldo over it would go for the knuckleball. City just choose to work it down the left-hand side. Foden has a shot. Keeper makes the save. There were 4 City players wanting to follow that up. Falls nicely to a Fluminense player. Remains 2-0. Here is Rodri. Worked well by City again into that channel. Good stuff from Manchester City. Really good stuff. It's always great to play attacking football. It's great to work opportunities. But I remember my criticism coming in from the Crystal Palace game. Man City don't know how to manage that situation and manage that game. And Man City are doing exactly what I would want Man City to do in this situation. You're 2-0 up in the Club World Cup final. You don't need to take them risks. You just want to keep the possession. You want to keep control of the game. And that's exactly what Manchester City are doing. City don't look like conceding. It'd be really interesting, because I said before 2-0 is the most dangerous of scorelines, because if Fluminense score next, they're going to have their tail between their legs. They're going to be really up for this game. And it'd be interesting to see how City choose to manage that situation. It's great having the assurance of 2 goals, but if you put under pressure and you concede a goal and things aren't necessarily going your way as much, how do you respond to that? And it was said before, I can't remember who said it, so I apologise to whoever said it, but we could do with killing this game off while we're on top and getting that 3rd goal. That's the way you do it. Good defending that from Felipe Melo. Really good defending on Bernardo Silva. That should be a free kick for Fluminense, and is. Good pressing that from Manchester City. Unlucky there. Again, the aggressiveness continuing in this game. Ederson comes out of his goal, mops that up for City, and that'll go out for a throw-in to Fluminense. The cross comes in from Fluminense. Cut off well by Manchester City, and forcing Fluminense back here now as well. Got nowhere to go, so they're just forced all the way back to the keeper. Good work from City, really good work. And again, it's all about managing the situation. The clock just ticks away. First 10 minutes comes and goes of the second half. 35 minutes remaining. And that's what City need to do. I said we'll get to about the 70th minute. And good pressing that from Manchester City. Referee can't wait to give a free kick, and doesn't agree there, Bernardo Silva. Felipe Melo can't wait to get into an argument with Bernardo Silva. He's desperately trying to get involved in some kind of argument, try and get Bernardo Silva to lose his head, maybe the tactic that's happening. And it's, again, the after's happening. It's the experienced players as well of Fluminense that are trying it on. Marcelo and Felipe Melo have been 2 players that have been very guilty of said situation, and Ruben Dias nearly caught high up there, but the Manchester City have the assurance of a Kyle Walker, who's playing in a more defensive role for City today, which I think is the advantage you've got with having Rico Lewis play that on that right-hand side. Kyle Walker's not needing to go forward, instead can stay back, and you can have him ready just to put the Jets on that burst of acceleration if there is any potential counter-attacks that Manchester City can just snuff it out. And I'm going back to what I was just saying about Felipe Melo and Marcelo. Marcelo becomes the first player to be booked. This little battle that's been going on between him and Rico Lewis has been going on all game, and Marcelo is late. He knows exactly what he's doing there, follows through right from behind, right down the back of his shin, brings him down. It's a late challenge. Yellow card every day of the week. And once again, just is the plan to try and rough City up, to try and frustrate City? I don't really get the approach here of Fluminense. I don't know if they're not used to not having control of the game or the possession, but at the moment, I was impressed first 20 minutes, but since about the half an hour mark, Manchester City have really taken control of this game, and it doesn't seem to be bringing out the best in Fluminense, as they're just bidding just to try and get anything to get an advantage to try and get back into this game. As I said, the clock is ticking. Here's Fluminense once more, coming forward. Good feet. Doesn't win the ball there, Rodri. Referee says no foul. I thought it was a free kick, not given. And once more, Fluminense just feel aggravated and feel like it's going against them. And Manchester City can just need to try and take the emotion away from the game. Nearly a good interception from Bernardo Silva on the slide. Kyle Walker steps forward, and in the end, Manchester City should mop that one up, and Ederson will scramble that one out there. This is all good experience for Manchester City to manage a situation. Rico Lewis needs to pay attention there. Man City very nearly gave the ball away. Phil Foden is furious, and rightfully so, in my opinion, at Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis needs to pay attention there. City could easily have given that ball away. He wasn't aware of what was around him, and now Rico Lewis does give the ball away. I don't know whether Rico Lewis has just maybe let Marcelo get into his head a little bit before on that free kick, and he's just slightly knocked his concentration away. But needs to get his head back into the game, and quick. You don't want to give Fluminense an inch, because they'll go a mile with it. But going back to what I was just saying, that clock, it continues to tick away here. Nearly on the hour mark. Again, Fluminense aren't threatening Ederson's goal. They've had that one opportunity from the corner, which was well saved from Ederson. Could have had a penalty had they kept themselves on side early in the first half, and potentially a red card for Ederson as well. It doesn't happen. Struggled a little bit for creative opportunities, and they're looking frustrated, looking very frustrated, Fluminense. I think this is a good time, for City to get forward. There's space to try and kill this game off. And it's a big shame we've not got someone like Erling Haaland. It'd really cause problems for such an attacking defensive line. Anyway, Rico Lewis into space. Plays it off Felipe Melo, and that will go out for a throw into Manchester City, and it's going to be a substitution. There's going to be a couple more changes for Fluminense. Maybe worried about the state of mind of Marcelo, so he's going to come off. And yeah, manager's smart. Fernando Diniz, Marcelo, Felipe Melo and Ganso all come off. Alexander, Diego Barbosa and Lima all come on. Same Felipe Melo and Marcelo looking very aggravated. Was that Pep Guardiola just giving a high five there to Marcelo? Who was that from Manchester City's bench that just gave him a high five? Was it Pep? Was it someone else? I'm not sure. Manchester City are going to make their first change on the hour mark as well, and it's going to be Rico Lewis. Pep Guardiola noticing maybe just a little bit of a lapse in concentration on Rico Lewis. Gives the ball away. Weren't paying attention to the pass from Phil Foden. Pep Guardiola thinks, you know what? Can't afford to take them risks. 60 minutes in, it's been a high-pressured, high-energy game. Rico Lewis comes off and Mateo Kovacic, he comes on. And that'll go out of play for a corner. Again, just City managing the situation here. It's good work from Julian Alvarez. He's so aware. And I think this is where winning breeds winning. Julian Alvarez has won everything there is to win. You get that experience in the big games, in the big moments. You learn to manage the situation. To me, there's no club team out there who's better than Manchester City at managing such a situation in a game of this magnitude where we find ourselves. The questions do get asked domestically in the Premier League, but it's not a cup final. Put Manchester City in a cup final and put Manchester City in control, normally leads to one result. David, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. As you say there, yeah, it's just everything's looking good. Everything's just clicking for Manchester City. They just don't want to do anything stupid. City don't make any silly mistakes. Manchester City win this match and they win the Club World Cup. As far as that. Nino, captain, scorer of the own goal for the second goal for Manchester City. Just gritting his teeth, gone down, doesn't want any physio treatment, gets back onto his feet and wants to continue. Fluminense have already made 4 substitutions so far in this game. Very much twisted. You know, there's 28 minutes remaining, they're 2-0 down in the final, they're going to have to. And this situation's so different to the Crystal Palace game. I'm going back to the Premier League. Crystal Palace are expected to lose that game. They're 2-0 down. They've got nothing to lose. So they stick to the game plan and they stick to staying in the tie and not going 3-0 down was their ambition, in the hope that they'll create an opportunity, grab a goal. They grab a goal and it gives them enough time to put Man City under pressure, to try and come forward once or twice more and see if they can do a smash and grab. Whereas for Fluminense, smash and grab approach and is defensive football, you're 2-0 down in a cup final, just isn't going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. You have to go forward, you have to attack, because otherwise you're going to lose. And there's the big difference. And we look so good in the Premier League, we manage situations so well, particularly second half of the season, but the one thing I've been so impressed with Manchester City over the last 12 months is, in particular since that defeat against Southampton in the League Cup, when it's come to knockout football, Manchester City haven't lost the game. We drew all the last 16, the quarter-final and the semi-final of the Champions League away from home, which means teams have to come to the Etihad and beat us. Just doesn't happen in the Champions League situation. Managed so well as Fluminense into a good position here, into the penalty area, not defended yet by Manchester City. They can't muster up a chance. They can't get the shot, and Manchester City can get it clear. We win them home games. We go to the final. We play a game of football. We put our chance away. We keep a clean sheet. We win the Champions League. Job's a good one. Fantastic. What an achievement. FA Cup. Win out all our games. There were some great teams that we played in the FA Cup last season. Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester. I'm not putting them in a great team, but you get the point that I'm making. Gets to knockout football. I feel like it's just really bringing out the best in Manchester City. And I don't know how the Premier League's going to pan out. But so far in the Champions League this season, 6 wins from 6. Looking good in the Champions League. We've got FC Copenhagen in the last 16, and I'm confident that we can go through to the quarter-final. Man City go through. We're 4 games away from playing a final at Wembley in a stadium that we've got the most experience out of any team in the Champions League. Only one English side's gone through, Arsenal. Are they capable of winning the Champions League? Well, that's a question for them. We are. We've done it. Here's Bernardo coming forward for Manchester City. We might have gone out of the League Cup because we want to focus on the Club World Cup, but we've got the FA Cup to go at. Huddersfield Town at home in the 3rd round. Win that through to the 4th round. You're 3 wins away from a semi-final at Wembley. You're 4 wins away from the final. You're 5 wins away from winning the FA Cup again and retaining it. That's not an easy thing to do. So there's still so much to play for Manchester City this season. So much to play. And right now, we dropped them points against Palace, but for the most part of it, I'd say over the last 4 games or so, Man City, from that poor performance against Aston Villa, have looked, for the large part, much better. Good win against Luton Town away from home. Should have beaten Crystal Palace. We didn't see out the job. It was a good first 75 minutes. We've dropped the points. We're disappointed by it. We moved on. You follow that up. Good win, solid win, clean sheet as well against Urara, team we've not faced before from Japan. You don't know what to expect. And then a scintillating clinical control performance, so far in the first 70 minutes against Fluminense to try and win the Club World Cup. Early ball comes in, it's good goalkeeping from Ederson. This what I'm seeing right now is Manchester City at their confident best. Manchester City are completely in control of this. John, I didn't want to say it, you said it there. Josh, sorry, you said it there. Arsenal, they're addicted to the bottle. Can they get past the last 16? They're celebrating down in North London, it's FC Porto, and that'll be the downfall, the overconfidence. Doesn't work in the Champions League. They're not Real Madrid, they're not the most successful team in Champions League history. They're a team that haven't won it before. They have to be humble. You cannot take anything for granted in the Champions League. The job isn't done until it's done. That's the lesson. And until that lesson is learned, you won't win the competition. And I'm not convinced this season that lesson is learnt for Arsenal with the amount of overconfidence there is. And the thing is, they lose at Anfield this weekend. I don't think Arsenal are favourites for the Premier League trophy. I wouldn't rule out Manchester City potentially by end of January, if results go our way, of putting ourselves in a position to overtake Arsenal. And right now, in the position that Arsenal find themselves in, to me, they should be running away at a canter with it. The quality in the Premier League's not been fantastic. It really hasn't. Yet Manchester City still have a fighting chance. We've won 1 game in 6. We shouldn't have a fighting chance. As Alexander goes into the book for Fluminense, rough tackle on Rodri, he stayed down and getting a little bit of treatment. John Stones looked concerned for his defensive midfield counterpart there. I'm really looking forward to seeing Kevin De Bruyne with his thick, strawberry blonde hair. He's grown it. And there's just a little bit of a follow around. I don't know whether it's an injury on Rodri's ankle or whether it's an injury on Rodri's thigh, his hamstring, as to why he stayed down. He's certainly looking uncomfortable. Seamus, I've not been entirely convinced by Liverpool so far this season. I think they look better than last season. The thing is, I don't look at the teams, I look at the points. And at the moment, the points, near enough at the halfway stage, are suggesting it's another season of 85 to 90 points. Can Arsenal hit 85 to 90 points? Can Liverpool? Can Aston Villa? Can Manchester City? That's the question. That's what it'll take to win the Premier League. And it just needs a run of form, it really does. I say it every year, every single year. The team that does the 10 to 12 winning game streak in a row will be the team that wins the league. It's happened for the last 3 or 4 seasons. It's the same again this season. It's not happened yet to any team because it's just too early to tell. You get to that business end of the season, strange results happen, and you go from there. Now, I am a little bit concerned by, there's a drinks break happening at the moment. Rodri is looking very uncomfortable. He shakes his head. He's going to come off. And this is a huge, huge blow for Manchester City. Pep Guardiola, mouth wide open. Can't believe it. Rodri's shaking his head. He seems to be walking okay. He's huffing his cheeks. He's in pain. He's felt something. And I think Rodri wants to try and get back onto the pitch. Pep Guardiola's just gone over to Rodri. He's giving him a drink and he's just asking, is he okay? And he's walking very gingerly. He's just felt the impact on his leg. And I think I'd take Rodri off. And hopefully there's nothing too serious there with him. And I would take no risks. No risks at all. This fine part of the season, we can't afford not to have Rodri available for Everton away. We really can't. Kalvin Phillips, your time is now. I love that from John. Arsenal. I'll see City go 3-0 up. JSGC misses the goal. He's paying no attention. He's too busy paying attention to the chat. Phil Foden's just made it 3. You just know on the reaction videos that people put out of fan reactions, they're going to be loving that. I missed the 3rd. Who knows how it went into the back of the net? It went into the back of the net. There's the facts. That's all we care about. It's Phil Foden with the 3rd. It was ultimately from that free kick against Rodri. I saw it get headed back up. I went to look to the chat. It fell nicely to Julian Alvarez. What a ball across from Julian Alvarez. And there's Phil Foden following it up like a striker. Erling Haaland will be sat in the stands happy with that. It's a cracking finish. Great goal for Manchester City. And that, ladies and gentlemen, on that 3rd goal will be that. That will be Manchester City Club World Champions. And what a sensational 2023 it has been for Manchester City. And Manuel Akanji now and Josko Gvardiol are going to be coming on for Manchester City. And one of the Fluminense players goes down feeling a bit of a knock. I think Fluminense wanted to make a substitution and Rodri's gone back down again feeling heaps of pain. This is not good. Rodri's in a lot of pain. This is a massive concern for Manchester City. Massive, massive concern. And Nino goes off for Fluminense. He's also picked up a little bit of a knock and he comes. This has been a very high energy, aggressive game. So it doesn't surprise me that there's injuries happening here. And this is just the last thing Manchester City need. So it's going to be Akanji that comes on for Rodri. He's still walking perfectly fine. He's just in a heap of pain. It's going to be John Stones. Man City are going to protect John Stones. Rodri gets a pat on the bottom and the high fives from the coaches and stuff. Is he going to get any treatment or is he just going to go and sit down? Josko Gvardiol is going to come on for Manchester City here as well. It is going to be John Stones, as I said. I think this is Man City just protecting John Stones. Maybe they know that Rodri might not be available for Everton, maybe. So we need Johnny Stones. And maybe this is a chance here to trial an Akanji or a Josko Gvardiol in them positions just to see how they do. It's Akanji that goes and joins into midfield. So Josko Gvardiol, very interestingly, he's gone to the left-hand side. And that's going to be Nathan Ake is going to partner Ruben Dias. So Ruben Dias is going more to the right-hand side. And I think this is going to be a flat back four for Manchester City. And it's great that we're 3-0 up, and it's great that we're going to win the Club World Cup. But I can't help but feel the pit of my stomach just turn a little bit at the thought that Rodri's got an injury. Mr. Dependable for Manchester City. City is so important. So important. Hopefully we'll get further clarification. I'm just going to head on to Twitter just to see if we can get more of an update here on Rodri. Just to see what the injury is. I don't know if it's his ankle or his hamstring. We'll see. Long ball comes in from Fluminense. Picked up really well on the left-hand side. Cross comes in, and evades everyone in the end. And we'll go out of play for a throw into Manchester City. So they're saying it's a knee injury. wait for further updates on what Rodri's injury is. I don't think he's gone straight down the tunnel, which is good news. Here's Bernardo Silva then. He's got the run of Julian Alvarez on the right. Into the penalty area. Man City might want a bit of a cricket score here if they want it. A bit of a cricket score. Jack Grealish. Bernardo! Into the side netting. Desperately unlucky that from Manchester City. Counter-attack Manchester City. I think it was offside in the build-up. So I'm not sure it would have counted if it had gone into the back of the net. And that would have been a great shame. Would really have been a great shame. Rightio guys, subscribe if you're new around here, that would be great. Do leave a thumbs up. We're now just 7 likes away from 140 likes, so any help towards that would be great. Got over 110 people now in the room, much appreciated, so welcome everybody. Manchester City set to become Club World Champions for the first time ever. And it's been a really good performance, and I think the important thing now for the final 13 minutes, it'd be great to go out there and grab a fourth, it really would. But I think the most important thing here is Man City continue that defensive confidence and keeping a clean sheet. They've managed this situation so well, much better than what we managed the Crystal Palace game, much better. This has been the perfect game. The only thing that's caused me any concern is the fact that Rodri's gone off injured. That's the only thing. Everything else I am very happy with. Fluminense are a good team, and Manchester City have managed to just restrict them and suffocate them into submission. Here's City on the edge of the penalty area now. Jack Grealish. He's had a good game for City today. There's been a lot of good performances in there. I think Phil Foden's had a good game. Julian Alvarez. Goal and an assist. He's got Erling Haaland in the stands. Just come back from training. Breathing down his neck. He didn't start the last game. He's under pressure. And he comes in with a great performance. And that's a good shot. And it's a good save for Ederson. John Kennedy bursting forward for Fluminense. Trying to take that Manchester City clean sheet away, trying to grab a goal in the Club World Cup final for 2023, trying to get his team Fluminense of Brazil back into the game. Man City, they want to keep that clean sheet. Still 11 minutes. We know from the match against Aston Villa where we won the Premier League back in 2022, 11 minutes is enough time to score 3 goals. So we need to manage this situation. Corner comes in, Ederson gets a good fist onto it, gets it clear, gets a good 30 yards on that or so away from the goal. Xavier works it to the left-hand side here for Fluminense. Another ball's going to come into the box. Josko Gvardiol wins that header, heads it back to Ederson, and as Nathan Ake just does there, just applause. And it's good to see that Man City are showing some passion for good defending and clean sheets. It's good. I've been calling for it to come back. It's a poor giveaway there from Ederson. It's 3 or 4 times in this game that I've said that's been given away by Eddie. Adam, you are spot on. 4 English Club World Champions now. The last one, Chelsea. Because they managed to beat Manchester City in the 2021 Champions League final. Matheus Nunes. He's going to get 10 minutes. Phil Foden, doing a good game. He comes off. We've got, is that FG in the crowd? It looked like FG in the crowd then that we just saw. Phil Foden, he comes off, and Matheus Nunes, he comes on. Nathan Ake, City preserving him. He's also going to come off, and we're going to see Oscar Bobb come on, and Manchester City wanting to revert away from the flat back 4. So take a defender off and put an attacker on. Pep Guardiola issues his instructions, so I presume it's going to be Gvardiol on the left. Ruben Dias is going to go on the right and through the centre, and Kyle Walker back onto the right-hand side. Akanji is going to go into that hole alongside Mateo Kovacic. Bernardo Silva's been told to drop a little bit deeper. We're seeing Kyle Walker go a little bit further forward here in that weird right position that he plays sometimes that I'm not the biggest fan of. Was that FG? Let's see if he's put anything on his Instagram story. Let's have a look. FG. He's in Saudi Arabia. Nothing on where he is though in the stadium, so I don't know if it is FG or not, or whether it's a lookalike. Andy says, who is FG? FG is one of the Manchester City content creators that works for the club. He does a lot of the esports for Manchester City. And if you watch Man City's announcement video, and in particular when Josko Gvardiol signed for Manchester City, in the Inside City episode on the channel, he does a lot. He features a lot on there, mainly because he looks like Josko Gvardiol, not going to beat round the bush. that's why it's there. Fabio there distributing out from the back, and again caused all kinds of problems this for Fluminense. Man City can't muster up an opportunity from that, and Fluminense can come away with the ball. Adam, thanks for tuning in, says Rodri probably injured for the next few games. We'll wait for see what Pep Guardiola says. Remember, it is important to remember that Man City may not choose to rotate too much against Everton. Everton away is a very dangerous game. It's a difficult game. They're in good form. You add them 10 points onto Everton, they become a top half Premier League team. Away from home, not easy at all. Man City have covered a lot of miles in Saudi Arabia as well. It's a very difficult game. We do have bottom of the league Sheffield United in the last game of 2023, and I think if you want to rotate, I think that's, in my opinion, the ideal time to do it. And Matheus Nunes doing a bursting run forward, tackled from behind, yellow card comes out from the referee, and some complaints come in there from the Fluminense player, and talks his way there into the book. John Kennedy it is that goes into the book, looks frustrated, and I think that's been the story of Fluminense's game. Right from 43 seconds in, it's just been an all-round frustrating game for them. As we're now just 3 likes away from 140 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Do subscribe as well if you are new around here. Mixid said, been watching the game in the pub. Very nice. Thank you, Mixid, for tuning in. Much appreciated. Manchester City is a much-needed confidence boost. The only problem that we've had is Rodri gone off with a potential injury, and there's a potential face injury here to Matheus Nunes as well. How good has Matheus Nunes looked over the last couple of games for Manchester City? Looked very sharp and very fresh. Come like our Yaya Toure, hasn't he? Playing in that more advanced attacking midfield position for City. Really good to see. Been really impressed with Matheus Nunes. And happy he's getting some more minutes. As we're now just 1 like away from 140. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. And that's not the greatest of passes out from Manuel Akanji. And Josko Gvardiol cannot keep that in. And that will be a throw-in to Fluminense with 5 minutes remaining here in Jeddah. Manchester City lead by 3-0, and Manchester City are going to be club world champions. The only question now is what score will this game be? Julian Alvarez, I think I'm going to give him my JSGC man of the match. He's continuing to press. City are 3-0 up. It's the 86th minute, and he's continuing to push and shove and press and continue. It's been a great performance. Got himself a goal that opened up the account for Manchester City today. Put Fluminense under tremendous pressure right from the first minute. Grabs himself an assist as well. Absolutely super. Absolutely fantastic. So, big kudos to Julian Alvarez. I think Phil Foden's had a good game for Manchester City. I think City's defensive line, Rodri before his injury, John Stones, all look very good for Manchester City as well. It's just been a very top performance, and Man City now need to carry this forward into the Premier League. If Man City can carry this forward into the Premier League, then sooner rather than later we'll be back in that Premier League title race, and we don't want to be looking over our shoulder thinking, what are Tottenham going to do this weekend? Are we going to drop out of the top 4? What's Newcastle done? I don't want to be thinking about that. I want to be thinking, have Villa dropped points? Have Arsenal dropped points? Have Liverpool dropped points? What can Manchester City do? That's what we want to be thinking about. And you do that through grabbing them wins. Otacum, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Noelia, thanks for tuning in as well. Is that Spanish? Mi no hablo español. So, I don't know what you've said. I apologise, my friend, but thank you for tuning in. Much appreciated. Just 3 minutes remaining of this game now. We are already past 140 likes. Just 9 away from 150 likes. Any help towards that would be greatly appreciated by me. Do subscribe, guys, if you are new around here. We will be staying live until we've had the trophy presentation and we've watched Manchester City lift that Club World Cup trophy. We'll have my match reaction out within the hour once I've ended the live stream for you guys. And we'll be back again this weekend with plenty more content for you guys to look forward to. We've got a transfer update, more Premier League predictions, build up to the Everton game, and of course back on the 27th with another live watch along for you guys to enjoy. Here's Julian Alvarez. Go on, Julian. Go on, Julian. Man of the match. Man of the match. What a player Julian Alvarez is. Rounds things off. 4-0 Manchester City. What a performance. What a win. Outstanding. This has been complete domination from Manchester City. Complete domination. We played a good game against Urara. This has been even better. This has been even better. What a lovely sidestep. What a finish from Julian Alvarez. The world's eyes watching again. He had a brilliant campaign in Qatar last year at the World Cup. He comes to the Club World Cup in 2023. In Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, for everyone to watch again. What a player. Absolutely fantastic. David, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. See if Julia can speak a little bit of Espanol. Julia can translate. Julia can have a job. Translator. It could get even better. Please. Please. There's Jackie G. Don't go to the corner flag. Keep going. Keep going. We want a 5th. Make the statement. Here's Kovacic. He wants the statement. Here's Kovacic. Kovacic. Oh, he just runs out of room. He runs out of room. We are having fun. 30 seconds remaining. Plus whatever's to be added on. I imagine Fluminense will probably just want the final whistle. They probably don't want to go and bother with the presentation. They don't want the losers runner-up medal. They want to go home back to Brazil. And European champions are going to become world champions very soon. How long's going to be added on? What a defensive performance. What an attacking performance. A referee completely agrees with what I've just said. We're not adding anything on. Fluminense can go back to Brazil and Manchester City can party into the night. Manchester City convert European champions into world champions. Who would have thought we'd see the day? Manchester City in 1999 playing in League One, Tier 3 of English football. Very nearly didn't make it out of Tier 3 in 1999. If it wasn't for Mr. Paul Dickoff, Nicky Weaver helping us win the penalty shootout as well, doing a nice little dance as Manchester City ran the length, ran right round the pitch as well. Builds up to this moment. We solidify ourselves back into the Premier League. We yo-yoed between the years of 1999 right through to 2001 when we sealed promotion to the top division to the Premier League. We solidify ourselves as a Premier League club. We continue to build ourselves through a takeover coming in from Taskin Shinawatra. We build ourselves again. The Abu Dhabi United group take over in 2008 and we go from strength to strength. We replace Sven-Göran Eriksson with Mark Hughes. We replace Mark Hughes. There's a fight breaking out. Kyle Walker's getting involved in a fight. I said this has been a nasty, bad-tempered game. We don't want to see any of that. JSGC's trying to make a point here. It's disrupting my point. We all like to see a good footballing fight. Get the camera back onto... Why is the camera filming the crowd? Get it back onto the players. We want to see the scrap. We want to see Kyle Walker clothesline that Fluminense player. That's what we want to see. Anyway, we get taken over by the Abu Dhabi United group. We've not looked back. Sven-Göran Eriksson, he's replaced under the Sinawatra rule by Mark Hughes. Mark Hughes remains in charge for City under the Abu Dhabi United group. He's then replaced by Roberto Mancini. We go from strength to strength. We solidify ourselves as a Premier League team. We solidify ourselves as a team that's regularly getting into Europe. We win our first trophy in over 30 years in the FA Cup in 2011. We win our first ever Premier League trophy in dramatic fashion through Sergio Aguero's famous 93-20 moment in 2012. Roberto Mancini then is replaced by the charming man Manuel Pellegrini. We had a couple more Premier League trophies to our trophy cabinet. He's replaced by the best in the world, Pep Guardiola, and Pep Guardiola helped City from a domestic basis push even further, breaking records, the Centurions, the domestic quadruple that we completed. Manchester City became the team, the dominating team in England. We complete everything there is to achieve in England. The main prize, the European prize, Champions League. We reached a final in 2021. We don't win against Chelsea. We move on. We learn our lessons. 2 years later, Istanbul, June 10th. Not only do we win the European Cup, we win the treble. We replicate what Manchester United managed to achieve famously back in 1999. And we continue to build that success by today, December 22nd, 2023. Manchester City are world champions. What a 24-year space of period for Manchester City to make history. I said today was all about making history, and Manchester City have managed to do that and some more. Fluminense, it's been a very aggressive game of football. I've fully enjoyed today's game. It's been aggravated. There's been fights. There's been everything. It's all just emotions have rolled over, and it's just been complete domination for Manchester City from taking the lead 43 seconds into the game right through to the final moments and getting Kyle Walker pushing and shoving and looked like he was ready to clothesline one of the Fluminense players as well. It's all done and dusted, and this has just been fantastic. The only negative that we have had from this has been that Manchester City potentially have seen an injury today to Rodri. Hopefully he will be okay. Hopefully he will be available sooner rather than later, and we can start to push on, because 2023 has very much been Manchester City's year. Hopefully 2024 can be Manchester City's year. Can it get even better? How does it get even better? Well, the only way to do that is to replicate what we've done this season. And if Manchester City win every available trophy on offer to them next season, we'll go one further, match Barcelona's record of 6 trophies in a calendar year. It's a Community Shield that's really let us down, that penalty shootout. Arsenal, they'll be licking their lips, they'll be rolling in that, they'll be loving that one. Absolutely loving that one. And as Mick Sid says, motivation-wise, where do Manchester City go from this? Well, I'm hoping that Manchester City now, we're getting towards that business end of the season, the second half of the season. This is where you start to see the best out of Manchester City, and hopefully they can really push that on and go above and beyond. Manchester City, what a club, what a year it has been, and these are what these moments are all about. And now we await our accolade, adding that lovely golden trophy to our cabinet, and it can go and join the European Super Cup, the European Cup, the FA Cup, and the Premier League in being toured around the world and sitting as well in Manchester City's trophy cabinet as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. As I said, we're going to wait for the trophy presentation, Please do leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. 150 likes. Get out of the park. Home run. Job done. 170 likes. We're 16 away. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Do subscribe if you're new around here. Social media links, they're in the description. Go and check them out. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Get your thoughts in the live chat while we wait for the trophy presentation. Julie asking, where do we go from here? Mixon asking, where do Manchester City go from here? John saying, in the immortal words of Bill Murray in Ghostbusters, we came, we saw, and we kicked its arse. Love that one, John. Master Chef saying, hoping that Rodri isn't injured. I really hope that he's not injured. We can have him available for the Everton game. We'll wait for an update from Peppy G. He'll give us an update on that. I am sure. Johnson, back to tune in, says, told you we will be getting a clean sheet. 2 clean sheets in a row. Goodison Park next up. There's the next big test. Keep a clean sheet there and win that game. You never know. You never know. Never rule out Manchester City. That is a fatal mistake for any club that's going to go on and do that. Adam says, Rodri confusing, gets injured, carries on, goes down, goes off, goes, smiles and hugs with everybody. Is he injured? Is he not? I think he's just one of them players. He's not injury prone. He doesn't like being injured. He doesn't like getting physio treatment. He's one of them that likes to keep calm and carry on type of people. And he's very much got that resilient mentality, and he doesn't really know when his body needs to tell him that he needs to stop playing. And I would have liked Man City not to have let him go run back out there. I'd like for him to have just gone off. And when Pep Guardiola asked, is he okay, to have said, do you know what? You are coming off right now. Rather than risking aggravating more injuries. And I don't know if he's ended up getting worse or not, but it was very clear that he was in a lot of pain, judging off his face. Rodri isn't one of them players that fakes injuries. He's just not that kind of guy. So there's clearly something not quite right, and that causes me a lot of concern, of course. Big Morgan, thanks for tuning in. Champion Jay, enjoy it, bud. Love it. Love everything about it. Raheem, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Danny, Manchester City, and we're on the piss again, winning as well. We love it. We love it. Betty, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Do hope you are well as well. Chiron, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Do hope you are well as well, my friend. Love seeing all you guys in the chat. Love that you're all interacting with me as well. Much appreciated. All absolute legends. This has been, I think, one of my favourite live watch-alongs that I've ever done. I have fully enjoyed this evening. So I personally want to thank you guys. From me, Jason, JSGC, much appreciated. It's you guys that make these live watch, because at the end of the day, it's just me watching a game, and a lot of people ask, why do you just sit there watching a game, and why do people watch with me and they don't get it? And I always say the same thing. I always say it's about building a community. I said people will be watching me, but they'll be watching the game as well. They like to hear the thoughts. They like to interact with other Manchester City fans, and we like to have fun. And we have fun on this channel. We have fun on these live watch-alongs. That's why we do it. And whilst people continue to enjoy them and people continue to enjoy the content that's being produced, then it doesn't. It's not my job. This, I do this part time. This is a hobby of mine, and interacting with other fellow Blues from all over the world, it's bloody marvellous. I absolutely love it. So I wish it was full time, because I'd sit here and I'd say to you guys, it's the best job in the world. 170 likes. It's just another home run smashed out the park. 190? 190? Can we get to 190? That is the question. Can we get to 190? Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Look at that. On to 172. You guys are sensational. Thank you so much. Kabidar Raxman, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Mixon said he was watching until 2-0, caught the fourth, was playing pool in the pub, and he's having a good time. We're all having a good time, aren't we? Big Morgan says, have a great Christmas, bud. Love your insights, honest and Frank. Thanks. Legend, thank you so much. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas as well. I really do. Big Morgan, legend. Pep Guardiola having a little embrace with Felipe Melo. And Commentate makes a good point. Fluminense will go on their holiday now. It's only 3 weeks long before their season gets back underway again. Great to see the Fluminense fans turning out in their numbers, making some noise. As I said, I don't think they played a bad game. I thought they were a good team. Really did. But it's Manchester City. Best in the world, we can say it. Best in the world. Leon, thanks very much for your kind comment there. Says Jason, legend, agreed, insightful, knows his stuff. Maybe I pretend to know my stuff. Should be on TV. Still waiting on TV to email me and say, JSGC, we want you on TV. Maybe 2024 is the year that I make my TV debut. It's not happened as of yet. That'd be a dream as well. That'd be great. I've always said it's more about not so much the insight. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a football expert. I'm not going to sit here and, there's former professionals out there that know the game inside out that are far more knowledgeable than I ever will be. My special talent lies in the ability to be able to interact, to speak, to come across, to say things. My communication. That's where we go from there. Leon, you can't swear on TV. To be fair, there's very minimal swearing on my channel. I do try and keep it as calm and as professional as possible. So we cut that out. It is what we do. And to be fair, I don't particularly swear that much, to be honest. I always find there's far more powerful adjectives than just sitting there continue to say words, whereas some people let the passion. I've seen people speak. I read all the comments. Everything I've heard people they say things that I don't come across as the most passionate of fans because I don't allow the emotion to spill over. But I think that just comes from my ability to control an emotion in a different way to other people. I never have been over emotional. I'd probably say from a kid I was. I think I've worked on that a lot, and I've got far better. That I don't let things control me as much as what other people do, and people get really wound up and go on passionate rants and things. It's not really my angle. I much prefer the laid back, chilled out vibe. is mine. Leon, you're not the only person that said that. The people are always looking, saying they've got young children who are bidding to become the future generation of Manchester City supporters who want to be introduced into what life is like as a Manchester City fan and following the club up and down the country and following it from abroad like so many of you guys do. And part of that does come with interaction. And the modern world takes you online. It takes you onto the likes of YouTube and TikTok. And you don't want people to be exposed to too much too soon in the world, because there's a lot of things out there. And that's where I take it on my role. My job is to make sure that there is that avenue to introduce people before you're ready to be introduced to the other style of content that's out there. English Dawn, that is not the news I needed to read, but Aston Villa are 2-0 up. I'm falling well behind on the chat. I'm really sorry if I've missed anybody out. David, thank you very much for your kind comment. On Exio, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Stephen says, good win, team played well, another trophy in the cabinet, congratulations. It's things you love to see. Pep rocking up like prime Barca manager in his suit. He loves it. Pep Guardiola, he loves it. He absolutely loves it. Andy as well says, thanks Jay, keeping me updated whilst I was driving my bus. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Andy and Alison in York. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and happy to hear that you have arrived back safe and sound. Never easy on a drive on Mad Friday in the UK. I was reading the other day that people were saying that in terms of intimidating roads around the world, the UK's right up there with some of the worst. Whether that be the different aggressive style of driving or the bad drivers or just a mixture of both, I'm not too sure. Not too sure. Johnson says Walker in a fight shows how much match pressure City were under, and to come out on top, real confidence boost. Maybe it just has something to do with Kyle Walker, as I was speaking about in the build-up to this game, about him being captain, and we want him to take leadership. You want him to show that spirit, that passion for the club. That's what you want from your club captain. I want to see Kyle Walker getting involved in aggravation with the opposition players. I want to see Kyle Walker defending tooth and nail for Manchester City, whether that be on the pitch or off the pitch. I don't like the comments that Kyle Walker made in the build-up to this game and comparing Man City's treble with Manchester United's treble. It's irrelevant as far as I'm concerned, but it doesn't matter. The talking's been done on the pitch. I want Kyle Walker now to follow up with, when he does speak in the press and speak publicly, that the right things are said. Maybe Kyle Walker needs a little bit of PR. We will see. Black Eye Friday. What? Mick Sid coming out with a Black Eye Friday. Has Mick Sid got a black eye? This is how rumours spread around. As a trophy makes its way out. As you see, FIFA President make his way out. Well, we've got Khaldoon Al-Mubarak there. The amount of dedication that Khaldoon Al-Mubarak shows to Manchester City has just been absolutely phenomenal. And just getting the club's presidents coming out and the FIFA chiefs coming out and the organisers that are in charge of the Club World Cup. Terming the UK, we call them the big wigs, making their way out. And lights all dimmed in Saudi Arabia. We await the trophy to be put onto the stand. I think they're just doing a little award ceremony, so I think they're going to award like the player of the tournament and the player of the match and stuff. You get the golden trophy making its way out. Is that Kaká? Looks like Kaká that's making his way out there. Big smile on his face with the trophy. Mick said, I've never heard of Black Eye Friday before, but I love that name. I think that's brilliant. I think that's absolutely sensational. I really do. John says, man of the match he reckons will be Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez has to be the man of the match. I love that embrace from Khaldoon Al-Mubarak with Kaká. Of course, there's previous. We wanted to bring him in, was it 2010 under Gary Cook, who's now at Birmingham City? Maybe that's what he's having a laugh at. Should have signed for us back then. The famous words of Gary Cook, AC Milan, they bottled it. They bottled it. Good times, good times. It's a shame I weren't doing my channel back then. Transfer updates would have been through the roof. It would have been unreal. Unreal. Right, we're going to get further presentations here. Let's see what they're awarding. Fluminense are lined up. They're going to get their runner-up medals very soon. As we're just 3 likes now away from my target of 190. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. So firstly, The Fair Play Award is awarded to Al Ittihad. They are the Saudi Arabian representatives. So there's the first trophy. I think there's 4 or 5 trophies to be awarded. Next trophy. So the next trophy that is awarded is the Club World Cup Bronze Ball Award. Goes to Arias of Fluminense. Drew, happy holidays to you. Leonard, thanks for tuning in. A couple of people saying, can I show the lift? It's copyrighted content, so I get a strike on my channel for it, so unfortunately not. Next trophy to be awarded is going to be for Kyle Walker, captain for Manchester City. What's the award is the question. I've not got the sound turned up, so I can't hear what they're saying. I'm going to rely on the graphics. A third trophy is the Silver Ball Award, awarded to Kyle Walker. So I presume the next one's going to be the Gold Ball Award. So I think this is the player of the tournament. Christian, thanks for tuning in. I love the little camera angles. They're using a drone, I think, potentially, or maybe a helicopter for the above the stadium panoramic angle. So Rodri goes up, so I presume he's won the player of the tournament. So kudos, Rodrigo. Doesn't look like he's got too much of a knee problem there, but that's a good sign. That's a good sign. And he receives the Golden Ball Award. Nice individual trophy for him to put on his own personal display back at home. Lovely stuff there from Rodri. You'll get a picture of all 3 of the players, bronze, silver and gold awards for the 3 players there as well. Kyle Walker, I think, just ruined the picture there. So he has to go back to get a second one. He walked away too soon. He walked away too soon. Now the players can take their individual awards and they can go and join their teammates. Manchester City, of course, gonna win the winners' medals. Runner-up medals going to go to Fluminense first, so they're going to make their way onto the podium pretty soon. I don't think there's any more awards to be awarded here. As we're now just 1 like away from my target of 190, so it is going to be the officials that are going to get their awards next. And the representatives for FIFA. I think this award ceremony might go on for some time. I know, I'm with John. Can we just get our trophy now? That'd be cool. Proper celebration, all this, isn't it? Proper celebration. And to be fair, I've not really noticed much officiating whilst Man City have been playing. I've not watched anything else of the tournament, unfortunately. I've just not got the time. But everyone's done a pretty good job, I think. So kudos to them. Hopefully we'll be able to see some of these officials on show for the next World Cup, because I think they've done a good job. Really good job. Now we get the officials for this game, including the referee. I wonder if they brought the... I don't know where VAR are based for the tournament. I wonder if they're included in this. But the officials for the game now are going to receive their medals. Soon we'll get Fluminense going up, I promise you guys, soon. See, out the ballpark again, 190 likes. Let's do it. Let's double it. Not 100 likes. Let's do 200. 9 away. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe as well. What a live stream this has been. Andy, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. I love that referee there just putting his medal into his mouth, having a little mock-up of what the players like to do. Forget, thanks for tuning in. No, we've still got the award ceremony at the moment. We've got the referees and the officials for the game receiving their medals. Then it should be Fluminense that are going to make their way to the podium to receive their runner-up medals. As I said, officiating for the tournament I think has been very good. I love it, yeah, the official there biting it, I love it. As I said, hopefully they'll keep on a lot of these officials for the next World Cup in 2026 in North America, in the United States of America, Canada and Mexico. Hopefully they'll keep some of these officials on because I think they've been very good at this tournament. It's been refreshing to see. And now we do see the Fluminense members of staff receiving their runner-up medals. Oh, sorry, it's Al Ali receiving their runner-up medals, their third-place medals. The proper dragging the award ceremony on here. Proper dragging it on. It's a great achievement that for Al Ali of Egypt. Third place at the Club World Cup. They received their bronze medal after beating Erara Red Diamonds by 4-2 earlier on today in Saudi Arabia. Great achievement for them. They finish in third place. They get the bronze medals. Fantastic achievement. As we're now just 6 likes away from 200. And they want some of the players sat down on the step. And normally they run it in height order. It's not too hard to organise. And some Al Ali representations in the stadium as well. Third place for them. And congratulations for their victory earlier on today by 4-2 against Erara Red Diamonds. So it should be Fluminense next. Julius says, how many spectators? There's 62,000 capacity. Doesn't look completely full, but it doesn't look too far off. So I'd probably estimate high 50,000s in there. Am I getting the badge on my shirt? I'm not planning on getting a shirt, so probably not. As Manchester City do a guard of honour there for Fluminense, the runners-up, second place in the Club World Cup. Congratulations to them. And they look really disappointed, as you would be, losing the final there. And the one thing you do notice about all these teams and all these players and all these managers, you notice one common theme. Just watch their reaction to Pep Guardiola and how much respect he has in the footballing world. So much respect. Pep Guardiola is the man. And I've said it before on my transfer updates. If there's any player that Man City want, any player at all, and Man City haven't really utilised it, but all you need to call off Pep Guardiola, and every player listens to Pep Guardiola. And Fluminense, it's not been an easy game for Manchester City, this. It's been aggressive. We've got big Premier League games coming up. We could really do without the injuries. They've put us through the war and back. It carried over a little bit the emotions in the at the full-time whistle. You know, water off a duck's back. Congratulations to them on their second place finish. Their season's ended in Brazil, so I hope they have a nice break, and wishing them all the best for their upcoming season in Brazil. And I presume that they are going to be in the Copa Libertadores, even though they've not qualified domestically for it. I presume that because they won the competition, that they'll be going back into the competition. So I'm wishing them all the best as well. And their manager, Fernando Diniz, looks like a real cool man, and they are the runners-up. They receive their medals on the podium. They get their pictures. They can try and use it for motivation. You never know. They may be back next season. It's the first time being at the Club World Cup. And now, the main prize, the gold medals. The first place, the winners of the 2023 Club World Cup. The Club World Champions, Manchester City, led by their manager Pep Guardiola, receiving his medal first. And boy, Pep Guardiola, loving life right now. As I said, City need to use this for motivation now for the rest of the season. Keep that winning feeling. Nick, thanks for tuning in. And Manchester United fan, not sure it'll go down too well, but your words here will be. Thank you very much for your kind comment there. It is a fantastic achievement for Manchester City, doing something we've not done before, winning the Club World Cup. It's been a great 2023 for Manchester City. John asks, is Pep now better than Fergie? What a video idea that is. I remember going on to Martin's channel on the Mancunian Way and speaking about that. And there's just so much you can talk about and what's been achieved. As we do hit 200 likes, what a phenomenal achievement. 220? Who knows? We will see. Players receiving their gold medals now, lining themselves up onto the podium. Will be Mr. Serious at the end, Kyle Walker, that will lift the trophy for Manchester City, and hopefully he gets the winning buzz from that as well. It comes as the pleasure of being captain of this great football team too. So don't forget, guys, do leave a thumbs up, do subscribe as well, that'd be much appreciated. Plenty more football and plenty more City content to come. Benet, thanks for tuning in from South Africa, love that, thanks for tuning in. English Dawn says Kovacic wins his 4th Club World, that's an outstanding achievement. Is it 2 with Real Madrid, 1 with Chelsea and 1 with Manchester City? And Kyle Walker there gets his medal, gets a big hug from Khaldun Al-Mubarak. And Manchester City ready for their picture, ready to celebrate and ready to lift the trophy. Here we go then, we're ready to go. And the trophy comes over. Louis Fernando, thanks for tuning in. There were some comments to be made about Fluminense, saying Flu thought they were going to be world champions, thought that they would get to stay in the Brasileiro and win the Libertadores, thought they would achieve the feat of being world champions with old players, but it's Manchester City that reigns supreme. It's Kyle Walker with the trophy, pictures are taken, ready for the trophy to be lifted aloft above his head, and there it is, Manchester City, Club World Champions 2023. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Go and enjoy it for the rest of the evening. We'll be back with all the regular content for you guys to look forward to. Remember, next live watch along, 27th of December, Manchester City taking on Everton. Today, we go and celebrate being Club World Champions. What an achievement for Manchester City. And you wouldn't have thought 24 years ago when we were playing in Tier 3 of English football. I started following City in 2001 when we were in the old Division 1, which is Tier 2, the Championship now here in England. That within 22 years, we'll have achieved world domination. The fireworks go off in Saudi Arabia. It's been an outstanding tournament. So thank you to Saudi Arabia. It's been a brilliant tournament. Fully enjoyed it. Don't forget, leave a thumbs up. 220 likes is the aim. Subscribe if you're new around here. Social media links in the description on the yellow banner too if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. I will see you guys all again real soon for the upcoming content for you guys to enjoy. So thank you so much for watching. This has been one of the best live watch-alongs that I have done with the interaction for you guys. And these live watch-alongs are made by you guys interacting with me, so thank you for that, much appreciated. Have a wonderful Christmas for anybody that is celebrating, and we will be back December 27th, live watch along, Manchester City back in Premier League action to Liverpool. Not quite Saudi Arabia being Club World Champions, but you know, we've got to persevere. We've got a Premier League to go and try and win again and make more history to become the first ever team to win 4 Premier League trophies in a row. Backs against the wall, plenty of work to go to do, and plenty of time still to go, and plenty of games still to play. So we've got work to do. Thank you everyone for watching, much appreciated. Take it easy, have a wonderful evening, have a great weekend, have a great Christmas for anybody celebrating. I've been JSGC. Peace. Ciao for now. Manchester City 2023 World Champions. Enjoy.